Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first Playdate for the NA region of the Pro Hubs Pro League. I am Waltz, going to be casting all of the games today, joined by Rio. How you doing today, Rio?
Oh man, I am doing well, and I am so excited for these matches. We have made it here from all of the open qualifiers to actually having our teams in a list and ready to get at it. I am just ready to see who comes to the top, who's going to win some, and yeah, I'm just excited to see some more finals. We did a lot this weekend, we're doing more today, and then we're doing even more this next weekend. So if you guys love the finals like I know you do, you have a lot coming to you and a lot of hearing from Waltz and I. Waltz, why don't you break down the rules real quick, kind of what we're going to be going through, and then maybe we'll talk about some teams that are in here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like you were mentioning, we're going to have a lot of these games. So, the idea is that for this section, we're going to be playing cash out. We got 4 teams in this group. We're going to be going through the normal cash out rules that you would experience. It's not the ranked version, so there's no cash loss on wipes, but it's not going to have any of that World Tour like cash for extra for certain kills give more. It's just basic cash out rules like you know it and you love it for good. We're doing this because think of this as a very long group stage, essentially. We're going to run for, this is going to be 8 different days that we are going to go through these, and each team is going to play 4 matches every single day, every single one of these days. So that's a lot of matches over time. Every time they play, they're going to get points based on where they rank. If they get first through fourth, there's points related to that. But they also get a points based on kills. So the placements, you get 100 for first, 70, and then I believe it is 50 and 40 or 40 and 30. It's 30 and 10, I believe.
Yeah.
Regardless, it steps down, and then you get 1 point for every kill you score. So even if you don't quite make it into the higher echelons of the scoring and the higher tiers, you are going to get points for doing a good job in the game. So keep an eye on those teams, the teams that are really popping off. Like I said, we're going to go through 3 groups. We have 12 teams that are going to play today.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't we kind of jump into our teams for our first group, Rio?
Yeah, so Group A is comprised of 200 milliseconds, fourth party cash box, Team D, and the Blowers. If anybody was watching the Ruby Grind event last weekend, you'll actually recognize the Blowers because they were here, they gave us a great performance, they made it all the way to the quarterfinals where they finally got knocked out. But those are our teams today, and yeah, let's just kind of go through the rosters real quick. We'll start with fourth party cash box, and that is comprised of Brutal Logic, Signal, and Caffeinated, I assume. And following it up, 200 milliseconds, we have Wolfex, Brands, and Grudy. Going down the list even further, we have Team D, which is comprised of, just lost my notes, there they are, Hidden Spawns, Llama, and Boo Boo. And our final one, the one that I talked about first, is the Blowers, and that is comprised of Normalized, Zuki, and Pure Strafes. So, really good lineup today. They will be in our Group A, and these matches are actually going to be getting started pretty much in just a minute. We have our first map, which will be on Seoul, and thankfully Waltz and I got to kind of choose what we wanted, so I asked them if we could do the under construction variant, because it's probably my favorite variant for all of the maps to see.
Yeah, like many people, it is probably, I think it is the best variant. And with that, we're going to go right into our first match. Like you said, Seoul under construction. This is for the NA side. And if you hadn't checked out the EU side of things earlier, for the NA side, this is the first game of the Pro League after the qualifiers. Really exciting stuff. And I cannot wait to get into this game.
Absolutely. And we are loaded in. You can see our teams up top. Production has done a wonderful job of mapping the team colors to the names of the teams. So if you have a favorite team, it looks like 200 milliseconds will be on pink. Fourth party cash box will be on purple. Team D will be on orange, who we're seeing right now. And finally, the Blowers will be in kind of that red color. So get ready, get excited. This is going to be fun. This is cash out. Get ready for some wild, amazing plays and generally just a lot of chaos.
Oh, there's going to be chaos for sure. Keep a close eye on this team right here. Looking right there at Orange Team D. This is a team that I watched a bit through the qualifiers. We watched Llama with that bamboo stick absolutely club his way through the qualifiers. Going to be a really, really exciting match to watch. So we're jumping into that now, guys. And all right, we got some fun. Got some nice fun setups as well. I love the teams that kit out their loadouts together. Always good stuff.
Absolutely. And if we see some melee kills, I want to see some bonks in the chat. But here we are, Soul under construction, 4 teams, cash out getting started, and here we see Normalize. He is nice vantage point set up, watching the people down below. That is some good tracking, getting some good pop shots off to get this match started.
Yeah, teams are really going to want to hold this construction site. Oh, already eliminated. His team is going to get a quick revive, but you can see these fights are so split up. On this construction site, so often these cash outs end up being doubled on those high points because teams really want to stay on that high ground. They don't want to lose that advantage. So normally you're not going to see these teams try and double, but I wonder if we're going to see more doubling on this spot than we normally do.
Yeah, and gotta love it, and we're already seeing the combat get started because there it goes, and it does look like one of the others went down there. We're watching Cafanino getting some pop shots off, goes down in that fight, and now we're seeing that Cerberus from Boo Boo do a lot of damage. He is shooting them as they come up on that zip line, which honestly could be pretty deadly. That is what we call the God Zip. It is there to begin with, and it can get you quite far from point A to point B. It does look like Team Dit has in control of this first vault, and they are going to take it to probably one of the best cash outs, cash out B, to get this started.
Yeah, we're holding on Hospital. Like you said, Team Dick grabbing that first vault, looking for this plug. Is he going to be able to make it to that? It looks like he's turning around, knows that they might be waiting for him. There's the DMAT. First vault plug started, and actually both started on opposite sides of the map at the same time. One up there on construction for 200 MS and blowers with theirs as well. We have 3 teams currently on site B. So currently the 200 MS going to have a very easy time of it. Meanwhile, we see on the point, we see the blowers are sneaking up, trying to find, here they are. There's the lockbolt hunches, all 3 of them. Amazing hit from them, but the winch in immediately melts the heavy in return. Pushing in with the rest of his team, still a 2 versus 1. Normalize, the only one left on the side of the blowers, is trying to get out of dodge. He's losing some health. Looks like he's sparring with fourth party Cashbox, who have moved in a third party to take this. They're going to get this steal successfully. There's the bubble, pushing it down. They have managed to get this, and they're getting away with all 3 of their members still up currently, but Team Dip not going to take this lying down. They're pushing afterwards, trying to keep an eye on fourth party Cashbox, but they haven't been able to find them yet.
Yep, it is just still going off here, in fourth party Cashbox is full in control of this cash out. Cash out is more than halfway there. We see a nice goo placement going on. This is just going to stall Team Dip a little bit longer. We saw an APS turret as well. There's some nice DMAT play. They are trying to get in there, but that goo has made a little bit of trouble for them. We see a lot of fire going down as well, and there is the APS on top of the fighting. And we're just watching Bobo as he goes along and just tries to find his teammates. They're just still trying to buy him more time if they can, but actually they're running quite low. So this cash out is down to maybe a little bit over a fourth left, and they really need to make something move right now.
Yeah, they're waiting for spawns to come back up. A winch there from Llama does miss. He has his teammate there. Tried to get that winch on the totem. Actually, it looks like it happened. Do the revive. All 3 members back up. Currently, we're back on the point. The other point, though, back here, there's going a steal coming out. Normalized, ducking around, moving with that dash, trying to survive, trying to keep that delay happening. Looks like they did go and successfully hold on to that steal. So the blower is just seconds away from getting the first cash out of this latch, getting a lot of damage with that ARN, looking for the damage. It's jumping up the cash out, up and down on top of this jump pad, keeps moving around, and it looks like they're successfully able to hold off the blowers, taking cash out A, getting the first blood in this match.
Yep, and I'd love to see that they brought down the crane. You can just see it's like a little bit of remains just holding on right there. They didn't want anybody on top having the vantage point, so that is very common to just bring it back down. Looking at the kill feed right now, we do see that the Big Splash, which is fourth party Cashbox, has a lot of kills to their name, so they are a force to deal with in this match. We are watching Normalize as he gets a gateway set up for his team. There it is, right outside of the vault. It's going to just pop into that vault and go probably directly to C is what I would expect. So C will get started pretty much right away, and it's in that nice suspended platform area, kind of in the middle of the map. So it will be a great central location, pretty much in the little bit of the opposite side of where the other fight just happened. So we are seeing that we are watching these teams get set up and getting ready as they open and get the next cash out started.
That we are going to be a C already started, so that is the looks like the blowers once again in control of this point. So with a nice start, and the rest of the group is heading over towards D. But there's Team D on the point, trying to hold this off. Are they going to successfully prevent this plug? They're looking for that steal and the subsequent plug. Already, team losing a lot of damage. Cafaneo pushing behind with that arm, doing a lot of damage from range, almost finishing off one. But his team is melting in front of him. Both of them are down. The vault has been stolen and the plug taken away. He's just going to grab his team and try to get a revive. Going to be able to successfully do so, but transferring once back over to C. D-Mat on himself decides to just push himself away with that. Rudy following the rest of his team. They jumped up looking for an angle. They have eyes on them, but the crane, it's so difficult to stay on there. Lots of damage being eaten by that, but quickly the mesh shield is gone. The dome shield is down right after. Successfully able to eat some bullets. Rudy already lost one member of his team. Wolf is down. Second layer is down. He is all by himself against three. Finishes off Strafes. He has to do more, but he cannot. Able to successfully hold them back.
Hate to see it because Grudy was doing really well. He seemed to be getting some pop shots off, but then his teammates died and it just did not work for him. We're now watching Spawns try and get out of here. He is running that AR, throws a gateway down, pretty much avoids everybody, and this will give him time to heal back up. He is getting shots off. There's a glitch grenade, brings down that dome shield. He's now dashing in and out. He is down to 30 HP as he tries to get back up. There is somebody that he was tapping that was very low, so if he can find them, it'll be a great opportunity for him to continue this kill. But right now, they are just needing to buy time. Their cash out is halfway there. It looks like only one person from fourth party cash box is still up, and they're trying to get their teams up. So we're in kind of a lull period right now, but you can't forget that the cash out is just ticking down. So if nobody goes for a dive on it, it just ends up going the way of Team Dip.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the blowers, after that one fight, just having a leisurely time and getting a second cash out. So the question is, are they going to come try and fourth party this, or are they going to go ahead and keep up the tempo and look for five? We'll have to see where they are, but we do have eyes on Brutal Logic pushing in with the rest of his team. They have all respawned. Here he is on the backside looking for the enemy team, slowly pushing in, not too aggressive, but they might find them quickly. Oh, they dropped down. They didn't go far enough. They have to go for a steal anyways. This is going to be very, very tight. There's the Goo down, about to drop his dome shield, a second Goo, but there's a gas that's been hit on the point. I'm not sure who set that off. Looking for the steal, but his team is falling apart once again. Brutal Logic, the only one left. His team cannot get the better of Team Dit. Unable to put anything on the board. Team Dit getting a very easy cash out there. Meanwhile, we already talked about it. Cash out A started once again. Here's Brands again trying to set 200, trying to set the blowers away. The blowers with yet another cash out. This time holding against pretty much every team, because every team in the lobby is about to be here. The steal is going out, and it is successful there from 200 MS.
Yeah, they're in a great position right now, and it does seem like Team Dip might actually make the move right to them. They just got one cash out, and it looks like they're eager for one more. They are on the same platform as 200 milliseconds, and they are just trying to stay alive. Sadly, one of them goes down in that fight, trying to dash away, but they are maybe dashing their hopes away as well. It does look like they made a tactical retreat in that fight, and now it seems if the blowers are here as well. So we might see three teams on it, but it does seem like the blowers just have control of this. Nobody's really contesting them, and they do. I'm not sure if they got the steal, and they did. We see that they're in full control of it, and now it is halfway done, and they just need to maintain control for the next 25 seconds.
Yeah, the blowers are just taking over this right now. Normalized with 5 kills, has been running this match completely over Brands. The rest of his team looking to prevent this steal. They're still in a position they really want this plug to go in, actually. I don't think he wants to prevent this. They want another cash out. They want a chance to be able to make it into those higher ranks. Remember, you do get a lot more points for first and second. Trying to get away with the rest of his team. Looks like he's dropping down. He cannot do so. That's a wipe for their team. Meanwhile, 2 teams still sitting on A. Team J figuring out how they want to approach this. Looks like they're moving underneath, but blowers on the backside probably have a jump pad ready to get into the air as soon as they see that steal begun. Dropped by a defib. It's on the ground now. Goo is all over the place. Team J looking to hold. Can they get in? HD spawns. He's looking for any way in. They cannot stop the steal. No, they were able to successfully stop it, but Llama cleaning up the rest of his team is just going to melt the blowers. Absolutely demolished. Llama with 8 kills right now, being guarded by spawns as he finishes that steal, and that is Team Dis successfully stealing cash out A under the noses of blowers.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a very convincing push and then steal that they were able to get in there. We saw the eliminations just pile up, and they were able to successfully stop the blowers from getting that. So, in a really good spot for them right now. We see them following up. Everybody is going to be diving on this last point. This is 25 seconds left, not even 20 seconds, and we're just watching them. There goes Brand down. Spawns is just getting shot after shot off. And there he is with the ARN, dealing a lot of damage. He is almost trying to help out Purple at this point. Nobody's really going for the steal. Lots of gas is going down.
Oh, it's over.
Everybody is just dying inside of here. Normalize goes down, and there is the round. Team Dith takes first, and followed up by, I believe it was 200 milliseconds. I'm not sure. I've lost track right there at the
Fourth
end.
party finish, following it up on the second place. Barely, though.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a tense one. Some of the highlights there were Normalize showing some major dominance in this match right now. Just a crazy number of kills. Blowers did get relegated to third. Unfortunately, they ended up a fight. Team did there at the very end, picking a fight with Blowers, looking for their hardest opponent at that time in the lobby, and letting fourth party Cashbox there in purple get away with a mostly uncontested final cash out until the very end. And it's so hard to steal against three other teams, knowing that they might get that. So Team definitely taking a little of the wind out of the sails of the Blowers there, but they still put up a really good performance. Remember, you get points per kill, so that's an extra 11 points on the side of the Blowers there as we are looking towards our map number 2. Any big takeaways from that one?
My biggest takeaway was there were a lot of third partying, but in the middle of there, it seemed to just kind of stop, and everybody just kind of split up, and there were two teams fighting each other. So it was just kind of interesting to watch the progression of the fights as they went forward. Just something just to observe going into the next match, because I don't know if we're going to see more third partying, if we're going to see doubling. What are we going to see? Just because it's just so wild to see cash out. Cash out is just so chaotic, and what I'm getting at is, like, I'm not sure whether we're going to just see a nice standard calm cash out, or are these just going to turn into more chaotic as they go on and just give us wild doubling. I honestly kind of like the doubling. I like the chaos. I like to see a lot of teams just right on top of each other and just death after death. It's fun, but we'll see what they do. Do you know our next map?
I do not. I have to check and see what we're going to get. Looks like we're going to get Bernal. I'm excited for this map. This is a map I really enjoy. I know there's some mixed opinions on it, but it's a map I very much enjoy. One of the things I want to keep an eye on here, our Team Dick going to continue with the domination they had that first match. They put up a crazy number of kills. Keep an eye. Of course, like I said, we have the Arn, the Cerberus, and that Sledgehammer from Llama. That is, in fact, a Sledgehammer, guys. That's not a spear. So he is going to be a bonking as much as he can. And so keep an eye on them, because they put up crazy numbers, and people not used to playing against a Sledgehammer, it definitely takes people by surprise. It's hard to deal with in those close quarters.
Yeah, and you and I were talking about that offline just the other day. It's just like, we think that people are just shocked. Like, it is a bit scary when you had this meta where, melee doesn't really work, and then now it is working. It's such a weird takeaway from the game that, like, things are having to change. People are having to adapt, and those who, like, really stuck it out in the beginning when it wasn't meta are now unstoppable right now. So it's just a really fun way that the finals is always evolving, and,
Yeah, and we have Birdie looking for this jump pad DMAT play onto the point. See Cafaneo right below, looking for a finish off. They slipped away. They're unable to find him. Still over this vault fight. There's a gateway. Birdie getting away, looking for the rest of the team. His light is quite low, so he has to follow up. There he is, zipping after the rest of the team, taking a lot of damage. They haven't really made connection with anyone yet so far. They're kind of just running around without a sort of a goal at this point. And there's that vault, just sitting with an unguarded gateway right above it. Wolf very low, gets a wish, but misses it, and he's get down very quickly.
Yeah, and you see his teammate just immediately going for the res. We are seeing that fourth party cash box is completely wiped at this time, so they will not have the vault, they will not have control, and it only seems like really there's one team wipe at the moment. So as these teams kind of progress and go towards their cash outs, cash out A has already gotten started, and we are watching them go to cash out B. This is probably one of my favorite spots in the map. And Status, I saw your message, you're a Bernal hater, you're wrong, and we'll deal with that later, but there's just it's a really cool area to have the fighting in. in the middle part kind of comes up and really kind of changes the entire landscape, as we're seeing right now. We're watching them jump in, normalize with the gateway, trying to get on a new vantage point. He takes some pop shots off. He is dealing some great damage with that XP, but sadly goes down in that fight. We are watching the blowers as they make their advance here. We see that mesh shield just go down, and the heavy is down as well. They're trying for a res, but are unable to get it. And we're watching the last one of the blowers go down and get wipes.
Yeah, Zuki unable to carry that for his team. Just got a little bit overwhelmed by 200 MS as we switch over back to Site A. Llama looking to res his team. Boo Boo has already been down, so it's up to the two of them, but only Brutal Logic is left alive. So it's a 2 versus 1. Llama trying to hold this out for his team. He's taking some damage, has that mesh shield to get away. There's the sledge, gets into Brutal Logic, gets the team wipe. A little bit of a bonk action going on, and he cleans that up, almost certainly getting the rest of Cash Out A. But here comes Zuki. It looks like we do have the blowers actually pushing in onto this point. Llama winching the Cash Out outside, bringing it to a more defensible location. Still about 20 seconds left on this, so plenty of time for them to make it in and go for a last-minute steal. Normalize keeping this close as he figures out what's going on, but Llama just sitting underneath, waiting, and he's about to pop out and surprise them as they push in. Normalize on the high ground, has eyes. They've already finished off one, about to go ahead and finish off second one. Normalize is down himself, though. Strafes and Zuki, they have to go for this last-minute steal. They're able to finish him off, though. Boo Boo finishing off 1, finishing off 2, defending this for his team. Team D taking yet another cash out in stunning style.
Yeah, they're looking pretty scary in this game right now, but here we are watching Cabinet already getting some shots off with that XP, chasing his team, his enemy down. There they are, getting shot in the corner, and he does bring Brand down. Cash Out is being stolen by his team. He has the foam shield up. He's trying to stop it. They're jumping on top, and go ahead and take it, Walters. My mic's messed up.
Fourth party cash box holding this. Cafaneo, hero for his team, is holding B. And both cash outs are already finished. They're going to finish off with a team wipe as well. 200 MS, unable to get anything going so far. They do have some kills, but the blowers right now really struggling. Pure Strafe's the only one on his team able to get any kills whatsoever. 2 kills. The rest of his team very, very far behind. So they need to find a way to lock in, and they're currently engaged over on Vault 3. Vault 3 has been open, so now it's just waiting for somebody to pick it up and run with it. Team D engage. Llama moving through the wall, finishing off 1, looking for the second. He does take him out, but that is a double death. He just trades his life, and a team wipe for Team D as Blowers finally getting control of this vault and having some tempo in this match right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to try my mic one more time. Hopefully I don't sound underwater anymore, but there is a nice dome shield going off from Brutal Logic. Gets stopped by another dome shield. We see him on the hunt. There's that mesh shield going out. He's taking some damage in that fight, but he does get it, and then sadly immediately goes down as well. So we are now switching over to Cafanado, and he's trying to get back into the fight, maybe help his teammate get back up. We need to watch and find out. He's got a vanishing bomb in hand, dashing all around, and really kind of not in the middle of any combat at the moment.
Yeah, looks like they're going to head over towards C. This was Normalized, runs the box all the way across the map just to get the plug money for his team, but Team D right behind is going to steal that, and this is the fight that fourth party cash box are looking to third party right now. Cafaneo with range, doing some damage with that XP, trying to find the right approach onto this fight. His team is jumping up ahead of him, and this will be a third party. Team D sitting underneath, and the blowers pretty far away. They are relegated to a third party now, pushed by Cafaneo and the rest of his team. Pure Strafes on top, denying that advance. Cafaneo went down immediately. A very aggressive push from the light on fourth party cash box does not pan out. And they're all just kind of doing damage to each other, while Team D, again, sitting very uncontested on this cash out right now. They're not being pushed. They're underneath. They have so many drops available with that DMAT and that sledge. Pure Strafes getting that revive. Again, fights happening that really have no bearing on this cash out. Signal with his team trying to find an angle. Maybe they might just bail and head over to D, because C definitely seems like a very difficult place to be. But Grudy, he has eyes on that. He spots them coming, and they're in a good place to keep that defense up.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that we are seeing that exactly. People now are coming for D. It seems like the better option, but we are seeing Rudy in a very nice setup. He has a great vantage point, seeing everybody as they approach. And honestly, I don't know if it's the place that I would go. Cash Out D is more than halfway done, as we're just watching it slowly tick down. We're watching them move into it and need to make something happen. There is a nice RPG going off from Llama. There's a swing. There's another swing. Can he get a bomb bonk. There's a bonk followed up by a winch claw. Looks like C4 tried to pull out. There he goes down again, and we are watching two teams just immediately get wiped on cash outs.
Yeah, both teams dying, mutually assured destruction there. Team Dick coming out on top because they still own the cash box, but on the high ground, Wolf missing a winch and bailing out. He might try to go for a last-second steal. That's not a window. That's the edge of the map, man. You got to get away. Throws out an RPG as a last-ditch effort, but he goes down. Last-ditch steal from Signal. Does he have time? He's holding this. There's not going to be enough time, though. It's no chance. And that is 200 MS getting a very nice cash out as we move into the last two vaults of map number 2.
Yeah, honestly, and looking at the scores right now, it is interesting to see somebody like the Blowers being so far down there. They had a great performance this last weekend, so I kind of expected a little more from them in this match, but they are still in it. Not a huge spread from top to last, but this last two cash outs can really determine which teams are going to end up taking first and which ones will end up in fourth. Honestly, and if I were the Blowers, I would try and make every move that I can to get this cash out, maybe even try and double it, but we will have to see what they have in store for us. Nice gateway move. They are on A already, jumping in there. The Blowers are making something happen. We saw that grenade, the red barrel canister going down. Looks like Yuki went down in that fight. Now we're seeing another people just get destroyed in the middle of the streets of Bernal. Looks like Vault 6 is on the way to B.
And one thing I think you're not going to see a lot of is I don't think you'll see many doubles in this style of cash out that we're running because the placements do matter so much. You don't care about getting second. If they cared about getting second and second was a qualifying position, then there's a chance that maybe they would just go for a double, something of that nature. They are going to split it right now just because that does increase their chances of holding that position. And maybe if Team D does have it stolen away, they will get that first position. If they double it, it's very low that they get that hold. So it doesn't surprise me that we're doubling. I don't think we're going to see many doubles in this event unless the team in charge is doing so. As Signal, using that DMAT, a little bit of a missed vault there, but trying to push in onto 200 MS as they're holding their second position on Cash Out B.
Yep, and it seems I still am having some audio issues, unfortunately, so I'll need to reconnect after this map. But we are still here, so I apologize. And Walt, I'll just let you take this last minute.
Yeah, Signal with that Cerberus pumping in a lot of damage. The time is ticking away, and he has already many members of his team that are currently gone. The Cafaneo back up, very low health. On the other side of the map, we have Cash Out A being stolen from Team D. This is exactly what 200 MS needed, but they're down as well, and that is a complete turnaround of the fates of this match. All of a sudden, fourth party Cash Box poised to get first position. The Blowers, the best they can get right now is second, unless they get a bunch of kills with a lot of money. So all eyes right now on fourth party Cash Box to see if they can hold on to this. Is Cash Out A going to be ending in just a few seconds? They brought it outside. Fourth party Cash Box holding normalized, dancing around. He's in and out of that vault, looking for the damage. Is going to be quickly taken out. Fourth party Cash Box getting that one down already for the Blowers. The Blowers pushing in. They still are going to get that Cash Box. Zuki doing some damage inside there, dueling with the medium of purple, and he's actually going to come out the better of that one. Brutal Logic and Cafaneo, the only two left for this, but it's too late. They're successfully holding on, and that is them dethroning Team D and actually taking first place in map number 2, Bernal. Fourth party Cash Box doing a great job of this one, proving that maybe that second place in the first map was not just a result of Team D making a call, but actually them genuinely being able to handle the chaos of this mode. And I think that's what we really are seeing, is that there is this just chaos. You have an idea, there is this tempo, you know where teams may be, but you have to be ready for it. And a very nice score is being put up there. Fourth party Cash Box getting a total of 18 kills overall. So 18 kills from them, 200 MS with 13 kills, the Blowers with 14, and then Llama and crew there on Team D getting 16 kills, bringing us up in second. So actually, interestingly enough, first through fourth, all following the exact same pattern of having less kills. Very interesting. You don't always see that, but it turns out in this case, the team with the most kills was actually just better.
Yep. And I still think we're having mic issues on my side, so we're going to take a quick break and try and get this sorted. So we'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned if you heard me at all.
Absorb secrecy.
as we are back. We are going to Horizon for map 3. Remember, we got 4 maps, so we are well on our way to finishing group 1. Remember, we have 2 more groups of this, so don't go anywhere. Could be lots of cash out left for you. And as we move into Horizon, one of the things we've seen is that Team DIT and Fourth Party consistently on top. They've been managing things really well. Their rotations have been really solid. What do you think is kind of causing that issues for the other teams? What do the Blowers, what do 200 MS need to kind of put together? How do they address this issue?
So from what I saw, I just didn't see enough team wipes. It seems like they were kind of struggling to kind of work as a team and maybe kind of deal with all of the extra chaos that was going on around them. So I would really just try and focus on making sure that you can identify the target as your team and go after them and then kind of go that way so that you can kind of work more as a team. That's kind of what I would do. There's a lot of chaos that goes on. But yeah, right now we are kind of seeing 2 teams that kind of are leading the pack.
Yeah. Another thing I think is so crucial. It's interesting because it's actually quite flipped. Obviously, a vault fight is always going to be important. You always want to be winning those fights. You always want to be in control of where the game is going. And especially in 3v3s, the vault fights are important to make sure you can have things set up the way you need to. But I think what's interesting is that in cash out, almost the vault fight means more. Because with the chaos that often happens, you want to be able to get that plug just in case there's a third party. So these vault fights do mean a lot. Obviously, not everything. There are a lot of times where, again, you have the chances to steal. If you take too much time setting up on your defense, it can cause issues. But pay close attention to these vault fights, because the teams that win these vault fights, I mean, it sounds dumb to say, because if you win these fights, you might win other fights. But also, I mean, just the vault fights are so crucial, and they do set the tempo for your entire match. If you win a quick vault fight, you get an earlier cash out, and then you have a chance to third party another cash out or move on to the next vault. It's a lot of choices you have. And so let's keep a close eye here on Spawns and Team DIT. Again, they've been really doing a good job. Both teams jumping up at the same time. A very nice coordinated display of athletics there by these teams. Spawns in the air once again. Already damaged on Zuki, has been taken out. A second one down as well. That's 2 members down, 3 members down for the Blowers in the blink of an eye. Team DIT are firing on all 4 cylinders, and that is some serious tempo.
Yeah, no kidding. And one of the things that you were just talking about is that vault fight. And I think one thing that you missed is that it also can give you that confidence. If your team is able to get a fight just like that, where you absolutely delete your opponent in, I don't know, what was that, 20 seconds? I think that that's really impressive and really quite fun. So I think that team is now hyped up. Team DIT, they've already probably are pumped, but they are still going at it. So we are now watching Cash Out B. It does look like they just bounced it or maybe winched it out of the window down onto the side over there on the kind of the corner of the map, but nobody is really fighting them just yet. No, I take that back. There is the Blowers right on top, right on time as well. We are getting into it. There's a gateway in hand by Spawns. He throws out the first one, ready to get away if he needs to. There's the zip line up to the top. He's in a really good vantage point, honestly, but he can't see that cash out, so it's forcing him to go around the corner. Goo in hand, maybe he can get something going. He would need to kind of dive on it to protect it, but there he goes. He's now with his team as they move off to the side. Zipline again, everybody has kind of slowed down, but this cash out is halfway done.
A little bit of ring around the rosy here right now from the Blowers. They're just trying to pin down exactly where Team DIT are. Now they have. APS turret has gone down. Zuki with that Cerberus looking to pin down, but Llama hitting a huge overkill hit, but isn't able to do anything actually. Spawns is the only one left for Team DIT. Can he delay this at all? It doesn't look like he even wants to try. He's just going to grab a team's totem and go for a revive while they are going for the steal. The Blowers getting a nice bit of tempo for the first time. Spawns able to get Llama up. That's now all 3 back, as there is that decreased respawn timer in cash out that is still in effect. So these people are going to come back faster than you would expect normally. Otherwise, Llama sees them as they jump above his head. He's dropping down himself, though. Back up with the same jump pad. There's a winch. Misses that, but he's on top of them anyways. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits. Pure Strafes is down. Looking for the second. He's got eyes on that medium. Dropping down. His team is there with him. Zuki is the last member left. There is gas on the point. Can they get the steal even without the gas? Llama winching it out of the point. He's going to be able to finish off this steal. Team DIT with a last second reverse steal onto the Blowers. Successfully pulls that one off and taking that cash out. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, 200 MS finally putting it together, getting their own cash box as well as they finish off the last members of Fourth Party Cash Box.
What an amazing performance from Llama. That's what you want to see. He played that perfectly. That winch claw brought it right up into where he'd get it out of that gas and got the steal. There was even another gas mine still on there, so he needed to be a little bit careful. If he would have moved forward just an inch or winched it too far, it would have been over. But that's what we're here for, folks. We're here to see some amazing plays just like that. We are now seeing everybody as they get set up for this next vault. Everybody's over by vault 4. It hasn't been tapped just yet. There's the dome shield, M60 dealing some damage. Both of them pull off the witch claws. They're trying to get it going. There is the goo trying to make a nice escape. Wolfix very low. I think he went for an RPG and probably killed himself in the process. Really sad to see. Vault still hasn't been tapped.
Yeah, Team D again in the lead. Zuki facing off against fourth party Cash Out. He's taking so much damage, about to burn down to that Cerberus. A single HP that does not take him very far, and he is down. Several members of his team left though. Cafaneo doing some damage. Nice tracking. Finishes off normalized, drops down. He still has 2 members left of his team, waiting and looking for the rest of that cleanup. Looks like they have finished off all of the blowers. The blowers again struggling to really get their feet underneath them after kind of getting swept by Team D. Speaking of Team D, we're back on them. They've dropped it and started yet another cash out. They're always with this tempo, always moving. Rudy trying to do some damage, has that F car, but was unable to finish off Spawns, as Spawns just keeps dancing around with that dash. Really hard to catch, and that's such a benefit of dash, is it just allows you much more movement when you get found on that invis.
Yeah, and we're watching them as they kind of ice fish around. They're looking for anybody. If they can get it in, this is their opportunity. So we call this ice fishing because they demat through the floor. It kind of looks like if you were fishing for, fish somewhere in, a very cold lake or a pond or something like that. But there is an RPG going off by Wolfix. Demat goes down below him and closes off that wall and closes off his sight line. We're now watching as he gets that M60 reloaded. They're still looking for anybody in that hole in the ground. They see a nice little wind clock goes off. It does go off. They can't get it. They tried to demat it and stop it. That would have been an amazing play. They would have brought it up to their level. But unfortunately, that means that they're now going to have to push it and go down and go somewhere else. Goo is in hand. They are ready to make something happen.
Are they just leaving?
Wolfix, I guess they've given up. Maybe they're trying to go below it. I don't know what this call is. What are they doing?
That's what we call aura right there. Team D, when they're not able to get the actual play, they couldn't get that Kosh box out of there. They knew Team D, or at least they assumed Team D, were going to have the tools they needed to delay that steal and just take them out. So they're going to make the choice to run all the way across this map and look for a third party onto D. I love this play, actually. This is really, really cool because this is not going to be expected by the other teams in the map. And it looks like fourth party Cash box holding this are just probably a little bit slow right now. They're not expecting somebody, or if they are, it's going to take them maybe a little bit by surprise. Can they see Cafaneo? He has spotted him. Cafaneo taking some damage. That has alerted them to the presence of 200 MS as he gets taken down. Wolf on a sliver of HP. Again, almost about to burn down, but he drops into some more flames. He's taken down. That's one down already. Nobody lost for fourth party Cash box, keeping hold of this, and that timer is about to end for that cash out. It's not going to be a successful steal. They ran so far only to come up short. Fourth party Cash box taking this, and maybe about to finish off the rest of this kill as well. There goes Grudy, so little health, and he is going to be cleaned up in a matter of seconds. No, actually wins that fight, but this fight isn't going to last very much longer because there's no point. That cash box successfully in fourth party Cash box's hands.
Yeah, this is probably the closest match that we've seen so far. Really, from first to last, we're seeing less than $3,500. No, I got the math wrong. $4,500 between them. So this is probably the closest that we've seen so far. Nice elbow from Grudy. He is continuing to do a lot of work for his team. Now going for the reses on them, but those kills really do add up, both in this match and in the point total for this overall bracket. So we're watching Llama as he deals some damage. Not really sure what his plan is just yet. I see what he's trying to set up. He's trying to set it up where they can get that vault put in and then immediately winch it through and get it outside. The goal here is to get it in more of an open area, because if you can see, this little museum area is quite closed off. It makes it where the fighting is just more concentrated and not really what you want to have happen. So there he goes, dome shield down. We see one bonk, two bonks. He's able to get it. Can he follow it up with another one? We see him running away. He gets Rudy down as well. It goes down in the fight, but he's brought two of them down, and there will be a nice wipe.
the light 1v1 going the way of spawns. He's been popping off in these matches, putting up some great numbers. And Blowers actually, with some really nice tempo so far, they were able to pick that last cash out from Team Dit. And now they have the plug on A. Zuki waiting with that jump pad and the DMAT if need be. There's gas on the point, and he's ready to drop it as well, should they decide. That is the play, setting up underneath. Very patient from them so far. Fourth party cash box looking for a way in. They know that the defense is ready. They know the defense is there, but they haven't figured out where the defense is set up currently. Zuki, very patient play. They're just crouching, not making any footsteps as well. They don't want to give away their position. This is his moment, but they have been spotted. They know they've been found now. That is going to be a very quick. So much damage being put out by that Mish, but there is Zuki, gets a nice 2-hit with that Cerberus. He's taken down himself, but they still have one left. Pure Strafe by himself. He cannot hold on. He is down. That is a major blow for the Blowers as fourth party cash box taking control of this and hopefully getting to at least a second place. Depends on how Team Dia does currently in their fight over on the other cash box right now, trying to hold on to that. Looks like Spawns again getting the better of Brand and actually finishing a team wipe off right there at the last second. Again, Team Dia standing strong and holding on to their cash out.
Yeah, and honestly, unless something changes very drastically in the next 30 seconds, we're still watching two teams respawn. This might be the only chance that the Blowers have to get on it. This will be a very last second dive onto the point. We're watching maybe 15 seconds left of this entire cash out. Dome shield goes down. We see them trying to body block. We see them trying to heal, but it does look like they got pulled off of it, and they do not think it's going to go their way. Team Dit is able to take this, and the Blowers did not succeed in that fight. They were blown away, as one could say.
Team Dish showing the difference in skill and the difference in strategy here. That Sledge is just really causing people to have to change the way they're playing. It's hard to get it's hard to get a steal against a Sledge. That is just such a difficult weapon to ever push in. You have to get a kill. And if they get that tempo, we really need to see these teams prevent Di from ever getting a vault win. And if they have to go for the steal, we've seen them successfully pull off the steals, but it's so much harder for them to actually go for that steal than it is to prevent the steal, because Llama's just going to drop in. He's going to start swinging that Sledge around, and it's going to be really easy for him to do damage and prevent you. You can never stick a steal against a Sledge. You just can't body block against that. So I really, really want these other teams to, their vault, like we talked about their vault, the confidence, the tempo, all of that needs to start going in their favor. They need to make sure they're winning these early fights so that they can get those plugs, because the plugs so far, I don't think I've seen Team Di miss a single plug. I think they've gotten a plug every single match so far.
Yeah. And, we will have one more matchup, and that will kind of determine how this first group plays out. So I don't know. Who do you think has to improve the most? Who really is at the razor's edge, one would say? What do you think, just from what we've seen?
Yeah, the one team that I think has been kind of having the biggest roller coaster so far has been the Blowers so far right now, with Strafes, Normalize, and Zuki. Just not really finding that. They've had moments of great, they've had some great moments. They had a couple steals. They got 2 steals from Team Dia. The first steal, unfortunately, was immediately reversed, and they did lose that fight, but it was on a knife's edge, and the winch pulling it out of that gas did successfully take it, but they got the next one. So they've had these really great moments, but then they've also had times where they just get no kills, and they kind of seem a little bit lost in the fights. So I really think they need to find a way to kind of buckle down. And interestingly enough, they are also the only team not running a light. And as much as I understand that the double medium does give you a lot, it gives you heals, it gives you that DMAT, it gives you a lot of flexibility. This cash out mode really requires you to have the movement around the map. Those gateways are so useful, which I think is probably holding them back. I'm not 100% sure about this double medium when every other team has a light. Yeah, with the Cerberus, you can melt the lights, but you have to get to them first.
Yeah, no, and that's a great observation, Waltz. One team that is struggling is not running a light. And, we've talked about this a lot before. It's really wild that lights seem to be coming back. They seem to be not just coming back, but here and a dominating force in the finals. So truly amazing to see. I see another comment in chat that my mic might be messing up. I'm going to reconnect one more time, and we'll see if that does.
As we jump into our final map, remember guys, we have 3 groups, so this is just the first group with their finishing game as we get into our last final match. If you guys have a favorite that you're rooting for, any team you want to see the underdogs pick it up, make sure you comment. Let us go cheer for your favorite team as we're jumping into map 4 here on Fortune Stadium, a classic for a reason. As we get started here, following once again Team D in the orange, pushing towards vault number 1. Love that they're also running the goo grenade on Llama. He's using so much that allows him to cover these distances and find his way into those close quarter engagements. He has the goo, he has the dome, both things that allow him to block off angles with the goo and then get closer as he can drop his dome and run through it. And as mentioned before, it's just so hard to deal with that sledge. In fact, they're actually just going to get the tap here on to vault vault number 1 as well. Getting a quick start here, and their spawns with that gateway. Doesn't look like 200 MS want anything to do with them either. They're holding on B. There's the blowers. Sorry, the blowers actually holding on B and getting into actually an initial fight there. They've glitched out the gateway. On the other side of the map, though, Grudy is in a fight. They're lost one member of his team. His heavy is almost dead, and he's getting wiped as well. Fourth party Cashbox taking control of this vault. The first vault, actually, that might get plugged as we see. No, one getting picked off there as Boo Boo with Llama moving towards vault number B. Vault letter B, and getting the first plug of this game.
Letters, numbers, who knows, Waltz. At this point, it's all a big jumble, but we are watching Vault B, not even Vault B. Boy, now I've messed up myself. Catch Out B get started. We are seeing them in the stairwell, which honestly, it's a very deadly place to be, but I think it's an even deadlier place to be if you're somebody with a sledge. There he follows it up. We saw that Cerberus following up with the sledge. Another Cerberus shot going off. They are grouped up very nicely, but watching their health just slowly tick down. Llama is very low. You gotta protect him if you want to keep that heavy in the fight. Dome shield goes off by the blowers. They're trying to get as much space as they can in this fight. Llama down to just one tick of it. They run into each other. It's a Cerberus off. Bobo goes down and gets the kill in that fight. We're hearing the cat noises go off as we see another team wipe. Moving over to the other side of things, Brutal Logic gets a nice tracking on Brand. Gets him down in the fight. There is a dome shield that went down, but I think was immediately canceled out. Now they fell just a little bit below it. And there is another stairwell as they are just shooting at each other. Back and forth, as I've said, it's a terrible place to be. Capneo watching and looking for any opportunity he can to get another kill. Things have slowed down just for a brief moment as they continue the fight. Open this bounce shot. There is a nice little grenade going off. Sonar will tell them all about them. Watching that 93R in hand as he's doing some good damage. Bouncing all around. There's the mesh shield up. Can they bring it down? Shotgun's doing damage across the plane. And watching these teams as they do it up. Cash Out is just ticking down. Nobody's really close to it. They need to make some moves right now.
Yeah, fourth party Cashbox with the advantage here. They have all 3, currently but 3 back up for both teams. They've all respawned now as Brand's trying to do some damage from range, keeps ducking in and out of this fight with that 93R picking them off from range. So much help. Fourth party Cashbox did get the successful steal though, and his team is down. Wolf very, very low, has to back away. He needs to step in and do some damage in close range, doing some damage already. 1 hit, 2 hit, finishes off Signal. That's a big there, but he's traded off his heavy, pushing into that dome shield. He's down as well. As if his team is down, Grudy goes down. That is a full team wipe. Fourth party Cashbox successfully getting the steal and winning this fight. Definitely one of the longer fights we've seen so far in these matches.
Yeah, no kidding. It was really back and forth. Kind of amazed that we saw a wipe so late into the cash out. But now it does seem like we have maybe our top 1 and 2 teams as we go into the second half of this map. This is the last one. All of the points will be going the way of the first place. They will get 100 points and going down after that. So we now have sights on Capneo, looking for anybody in his eye line, but we're not seeing them. They're pretty split up from everybody else. There are the blowers directly below them, and they throw that glitch grenade down. It didn't look like it connected with anybody. They are playing very close as a team, and it's a great thing to see. There's a gateway and another glitch grenade in hand. Good shot, brings down that dome shield, watching that XP. He got a lot of shots off with that. He does make himself and his teammate Invis really a good move. Now we watch the bounce pad as they move in and out of it. Everybody is a little spread out. They're getting back onto the roof. They want to bring the fighting to a better sight line if they can. The blowers not really wanting to engage right now. There they are. There's the fighting. There goes Zuki down. Let's see if Kaneo can get another. He is the last person alive, but he does not have them down. There are two people low. One of them low. He needs to get the last one. He needs to get this res off, but he can't. He gets stopped. But Kaneo down to just a little bit of health and gets wiped.
Normalize pushing in very aggressively. I think trying to buy a little bit of time so that Pierre could get that res ended up working out for them because he had just enough time to get his team brought up, and that is going to put blowers in control of this vault, able to plug on D, a very safe vault to be plugging on as we move back over towards C. Blowers successfully getting this, but Team Dia, it's no surprise, once again, holding on to a cash out, probably even got the plug. Llama currently only sitting at 1 kill, meanwhile Boo Boo at 6. Very impressive stuff from him as they're about to fend off an attack from 200 MS there, as we see fourth party cash box moving towards Vault D as well, where we head towards which fight we're currently watching here is fourth party cash box taking some pot shots from range, trying to decide who they want to push to. Are they going to push towards C? This is such a hard point to aggress, but do they really want to deal with Team Tail on the other side? Using that M60, dropping a lot of the SKU out of the point, but again, this is what they have to decide to push into. This is where that mesh shield could come in handy. Invis Bomb is going to give them the chance. There's that massive jump bounce with the jump pad, something that Sonsoyo, I believe, popularized, at the very least discovered with that jump pad on top of the triangular jump pad. Brutal, doing damage from range, picks up one, nice pick on a normalize. One down already from the blowers, fourth party cash box trying to capitalize onto this as they aggress. That cash box is currently very isolated on the other side of the map. When will they go for the steal, though? Drops it down. There's a jump pad underneath. Probably knew it would set up as well. Nice play from him, but blowers, with all three back up now, have a chance to defend if Logic continuing to drop this. He does not want to let them drop that on their own turn. And they begin the steal now, but they're being... No, Zuki is going to get taken out. Currently a 2 versus 2. Strafes moving in as well, but he cannot do so much. Cafaneo, actually, the last one left on his team. He gets taken down. Finally, Stride able to take this cash out.
Wow, good fighting. Hopefully my mic is okay, but we are watching the blowers as they just got a dominating performance. I don't think anybody's going to want to go for that cash out anymore. Cash out D has just a little bit of time left. Oh, the wipe! He does get a nice little swipe in there. 1 down, 2 down, 1 more. Can he find this last victim? He gets 1 swing, and there is an entire 3-person wipe from Llama. We just need to stay on Llama because this is absolutely insane. There's another team right at his feet, but I'm not sure if he sees them. He definitely hears them. We might see more going down. He gets brutal locked down. RPG to follow it up. He's swinging his hammer everywhere he can. The bonks are coming in. He's now taking a slight break to bring his teammate back up. It's really what I would do, as it sounds like he's being chased as well.
Nice finish. Yeah, he gets finished out. Spawn's still alive. 1 left for Team Div. But yeah, Llama just running rampant. They did not expect to find a Sledge Heavy in the midst of them all of a sudden. Fourth party cash box did successfully get that wipe, but Spawns did plug the vault, which does mean that Team Dit, again, getting another influx of cash as Cafaneo trying to figure out where they want to go. Looks like they're going to go for a double this time. They want that first place, and this is one of those moments where they do decide to go for that double simply because they need to get in first. They need those extra points. And his team, maybe a little bit of communication there, did not take that gateway. As on the other side, 200 MS looking for this steal. They've successfully done so, taking this off the hands of Dit, and unfortunately, there does appear to be a disconnect from Spawn, so Team Dit currently a little bit low on their players, as they are going to have a pause now to see if we can get a reconnect. This could be crucial. Llama, the only one left on his team, but this is a matter. This does matter because there is going to be enough time for Llama and maybe his team to respawn, so this is important. You might just, honestly at this point, and I think this is one where both teams are dead, we could also go with this simply because there's not enough time left for his respawn anyways, waiting for a decision from production on this one. All right, we do have a reconnect. We're about to start. Spawn's back in the game. 200 MS in control of Vault B right now, and they have to hold on to this. This is second place for them so long as the other vault is not plugged. Is that going to happen?
Yep, we're watching the time just slowly tick down. We're getting to just maybe 40 seconds left, but no, another cash out gets started. So this will not be the final one. We're watching them from above just deal a lot of hellfire down. Great winch claw that went off, absolutely stopped the steal. Dome shield goes down to try and follow it up, but sadly he gets wiped in there. And that's not really what you want to see from Team Div, but they do now have full team back.
Oh, it's all gone
Another
wrong.
steal is going off. We see them running in, gas
the
going
blowers,
down,
nice.
and they're not going to be able to get this steal. They're going to have to pull off of it, right?
Oh, wait,
yes,
no!
they did.
The 200 MS still has it. The fire, the gas, everything in the way. It finishes off Zuki. They can't get the steal, and 200 MS successfully holding on to that cash out. A disaster for the blowers. Just everything conspiring against them. Now all eyes turn over towards A. Only 7 seconds left for them to begin a steal. Here's Boo Boo riding on top of his cash box as Llama is defending him with his very life. Their steal is about to go through. I think he gets it. He successfully. Llama goes down in defense, but there's only 3 seconds left. Diz successfully getting a steal last second, giving 200 MS the second position, just barely.
Oh my god, that last second diving on top, staying on top of the cash out, watching your teammates just try and block you off, and they did get the steal. That is some teamwork right there. And you know what? They came back after having someone disconnect as well. So they were angry. They wanted to get at it. And, you know, just looking at the entire lineup, really good scores across the board. Almost a very uniform, one could say. And I think that really does lend to kind of what we saw earlier, that the teams were very, very close.
Yeah, that was really, really tight there. I was very impressed. Like you said, a very close match. That one, more so than any other, around that after those second cash outs, very, very close. Could have gone any way. But once again, unfortunately, the blowers finding themselves in the lowest position. Kills being very close. Those kills are going to do a lot for them. Remember, this isn't the only play date, though. There are going to be 7 more of these. So they have plenty of chances to figure out what they need to change up. They did start running a light, medium, heavy instead, so a good change for them. Normalize did pop off with that light, but we do have to see them start to pick things up a little bit. How are they going to change things around? So we have our teams. Here are the points that we got in, and tallying a little bit. There's our scores in. I believe this is now all 4 maps. Team did with a commanding 441 points. And that is 441. I believe they got second a match too, right?
Yeah, they did. And that
Goodness.
is just a terrifying number to see. But following it up with just a little under half fourth party cash box. And then in third place, 200 milliseconds. And then the blowers in fourth. But don't worry, guys. This all will kind of play out more as we go into the next group. So all of these scores will kind of mix up and get kind of quite jumbled as we see it. But I do not think that we will see another team as dominating as Team Di. But I have been wrong in the past, and maybe I am wrong again. What are your thoughts as we let's look at Group B, and then I think we need to throw to a quick break.
Yeah, well, I was about to say you say that now with the groups, but we have some really, really strong
I
groups
know.
in in Group Two. We have Bricked with STN, Busy, and Stewie. We have Holthouse Finest, Brendy, Lamp, and Commit, Scallywags, Gremlin, Wally,
Yeah.
Bingus, and then we have Dark Horse with Ant Cobra and Air Rock. So there are some very strong names in that
Yep.
group. So and again, a lot of very strong names. So we might see some very tight games. But then again, I would not be surprised if teams absolutely takes off. But you do mention we do need to go to a break. So as we get a quick look here at our next round of teams, there's the Scallywags, Bricks, Holthouse Finest, and the Dark Horse. Can they be the Dark Horse of this group and pick off some wins, maybe some last second steals? They're going to need to have it. But we're about to head to a short break, guys. We'll be back in about 5 minutes or so as we get the next teams into our lobbies and just grab a quick glass of water as we prepare to bring you some fantastic cash out matches.
You know, June, every time I think I've seen it all, the finals proves me wrong. What a play!
That's one for the highlight reel, Scotty.
The next chapter in this epic saga is about to unfold. A storm of epic flashes is brewing this season of the finals!
the stars. Distant, watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Spooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Spooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Spooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via, we as one.
The life giver, the sun, always on, the source of everything that is good. But can it be trusted? Holtau's sun insurance will have you covered if the unimaginable happens and the light goes out. Holtau, brighter than ever.
Absorbe ce que c'est. Monde, monde, pour misérable et fortuné. Absorbe. Ce que tu désires devenir, c'est ce que tu
All right, we are back. Moving on to group number 2. As we mentioned, a lot of stacked names in this
Yeah.
go as we're about to jump into our first map, which will, like last time, under with this match to give them something to kind of bounce off. Break down our team, and as we jump in, starting off bricked with STN, Stu Busy, and Stu. Rio, you want to break those down?
Yeah, so as Walt was saying, we're going to run through the names. In orange, we will have the Boundless, which was everybody's famous team known as Halto's Finest, with Lycomet, Brindy, and Lamp. Going into pink will be Stooge, STN, and Bizao, and they will be part of... I should have my notes open. Bricked. That's what I figured. And then continuing down the list, we have the Big Splash in purple. And I don't know. Why don't you take it from here, Waltz?
Yeah, so we have Dark Horse, who are going to be Ant, Cobra, and Aerox. They are going to be following up. Hopefully, they can pull some Dark Horse wins here. Going to be exciting to watch them play. And then we have Scallywag with Gremlin, Wally, Bingus, and they have a sub-salvo of play a lot of, but really good stuff from them. Going to be a bit of a major showdown between teams. Halthouse Finest and Scallywag, I believe, did face off and breakout as well. So a bit of a storied, history between these teams, and unlike a lot of teams in the scene, they've actually stuck together for quite a while as well. So exciting stuff from them.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's my favorite variant of all of them. So it will be Soul and Under Construction. We are getting loaded into the map now. So if you guys have a favorite variant, anything that you guys like, let us know. I'm curious to see, do you guys like the Under Construction variant, or is just Soul just not your favorite map? We got a lot of you in chat, so by all means, chat it up. But also, if you are a fan of any of these teams coming up, that is Bricked, Dark Horse, Halto's Finest, and the Scallywags, stay tuned, give them a nice root, spam chat, whatever you want to do. Let us know who you're rooting for. But on screen now, we do see Halto's Finest. So we have the always famous Lamp, Lycomet, and Brindy. I'm hoping that they will give us a wonderful performance as we go into Seoul. And Waltz might not be back just yet. I heard a little bit of a crackle on the mic, but that is okay. I can take it from here. We will load into Seoul. There is everybody. We got to judge their drips. Nice loadout. I'm not seeing any team unison. Oh, there's Halto's Finest, and they do have a nice team drip going on. You know, they got something, you know, in unison. It's really what you want to see.
You can always count on Halto's Finest to be rocking the drip when they need to be and putting it together. We have a little bit of a Holthouse Finest infection going on in this lobby right now. We got, what is this? 4 other people that are rocking that Holthouse Finest club tag right now. This might just be a Holthouse Finest club custom right now, as Lamp is chasing after Dark Horse currently with that RPG, does some damage on the way down. Yeah, fierce chase. His team running around, finishes off Aerox. That's 1 down, 2 down for Dark Horse. Not a great start for them. Lamp on his way to try and start that first cash out plug.
Yep, he's from above, and he is honestly doing a lot of damage with that shotgun. It shouldn't deal that much damage, it just rain little pellets on you from that far away, but he is now taking this first vault over to A and getting it set up. They did drop it already, that vault, pushing it in there, and we see the C4 on it as well. Nice play to follow it with the gas. Now it has goo in hand. I do love it when teams are able to utilize all of the surrounding variables that are with them. And honestly, I don't even see anybody coming for Halto's Finest just yet. They might have a nice time to set up, get a margarita, drink, there is the crane that goes down as well. I've said before, but you want to drop that instantly. It is a high vantage point and really not the great thing to have up there. We're now seeing Dark Horse as they make their advance. They do spot out Halter's Finest. Bounce pad goes down from Eric, but he immediately picks it back up. He is running the revolver, and I have not seen a lot of people use that, so that is quite cool. I'm wondering if he can make any of these shots connect. They're jumping up, trying to climb on this goo. They're on Cash Out A. Halter's Finest has come all the way around. They have basically looped around, but there's Eric. He's throwing the gas away, breaks that C4, and now they have a nice little vantage point and a good line of sight to get this cash out if they're able to do it.
Yeah, he sold his heavy, unfortunately, left them behind. His heavy gets taken out. He's down. Ant, the last one on this team, just not quite the cohesion that we would want from Dark Horses as Ant down. A quick and solid team wipe. They moved around a little bit. They had some nice movement there, but together as they are being pushed by Brick right now, though. Here comes Brick. Stewie looking to get a pick. They've already finished off 2. It's all on Lamp right now to defend this cash out. Can he do so? Stewie holding strong, has eyes on Lamp. A lot of damage going out. Finishes him off. Nice beaming with that XP. Nothing but headshots. Stewie pulling off a, they're about to get the steal. There is some gas on the point, but this is not going to prevent them from getting a quick steal so long as there is no third party coming in. A couple more seconds, but STN's holding on to the, and looks like that's going to be a very successful steal. As meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Holthouse Finest losing that cash out, and then we have Scallywags getting theirs on the other side.
Yeah, and there is the gateway setup. They want to try and get across this rooftop as quick as they can. Wally just running, making his way towards Vault 4. They will be pretty uncontested here as the Scallywags have a nice opportunity to set up. And you know what, going back, I've seen the Scallywags play. They normally play with the pirate outfits. So Scallywags, I'm a little disappointed, but that is off the point while we watch them set up and get a gateway set up for Vault 4. We're now switching over to Halto's Finest as they are inside of this mall complex. RPG in hand by Lamp, trying to see if he can locate anybody on these stairwell. There is a lock bolt that went down. There's a nice RPG. It did connect with a couple of them. We see the mesh shield getting up. He does try and get anybody he can, chasing them now with that SA shotgun, dealing a good amount of damage, brings STN down, finds another one in his crosshairs, able to bring Blizz down as well. His teammate is down, but he might be able to get a res on Brindy. He does go for them instead of the cash out. It's probably the best play at this moment.
Yeah, getting a res there and the gateway down. Nice play. Like commit. Team firing on all cylinders as always. Fortunately, Brendy is down. Got picked off from the high ground. Dark Horse do seem to be hitting their shots now, and they're actually going to get picked off. Holthouse Finest just getting melted. They make this jump up. 2 members as well of Brick struggling to get onto this top point. C has been plugged by the Scallywags, but everyone right now is looking at D. No focus on the rest, and Dark Horse actually successfully stealing the vault and starting a cash out. A nice play from them, and they have a chance to hold. Airrock was at 0 kills. He's now at 2. The revolver, such a sink or swim weapon. It's so strong, but only if you're hitting those shots. And against a lot of these FCARs, FCARs and AKs and all, and these Cerberus, you got to make sure that you cannot miss at all. You have to be 100% accurate, and then you win. But they are getting pushed. Meanwhile, Lamp, Holthouse Finest here on the stairwell, going for this fight's Brendy, taking a lot of damage, gets some damage with his Cerberus, drops outside, following up, looking for that kill. Can he finish him off? Does finish up Wally. Nice placement from him. A little bit of a miss vault there from Wally, and that is 2 members of Scallywags only left. They have lost 1 as the steal is going there. Lamp with his shield out is trying to protect his team. Does get glitched, so that's down, but the steal is successful. Meanwhile, all 3 of Scallywags are back up. Brendy finding a decent place to save, is going to block off with those grenades. Nate, he's been running basically the entire time they've been playing in this game at this level. Lost his teammate, but gets a quick revive. Looks for the kill. Does get an assist onto Pepe. That's 1 down. Looks for the second, following through. Oh, nice! The serve and the melee 1 tap, taking out. Last member, Wally, is going to go ahead and clean up the revenge for team. Wally dropping down. Last member looks for that revive. Can't get the defib off. That is Lamp clutching it for his team and holding on to Cash Out C, keeping them alive and pushing them into the next set of cash outs. on D here. Busy with that minigun. What am I seeing right now? Finishes off the air out. Beautiful stuff from him. Spins that up using that jump pad to give him some leeway so he can actually spin that up as he pushes in. Has that mesh shield as well to go ahead and separate time. Is that going to be enough to hold? Using the minigun in cash out. This is what we want to see. This is the wild stuff that we wanted from this group here as he tries to get close enough to prevent the steal, but the steal is going out by Holthouse Finest anyway. Busy has to find a way to get close now. Has that C4, does some damage, but again, that doesn't finish off Brendy. Can he get this? He's there close. He almost has it. He's going to successfully get the steal. Nice steal from Holthouse Finest. Moving from one to the other. The machine gun, the minigun there, cleaning up. Wasn't enough to finish as it's just chaos right now. People dying left and right as the cash out is just going to go ahead and plug, and we are on to the last two sets of vaults as Scallywags stays strong and the only three left.
Yeah, this is absolute chaos, and you know what? Haltos Finest seemed to have a little bit of a struggle in the start, but they definitely found their footing really quick. And Lamp with 9 kills. Sit down, boy. What are you doing? We're just getting started. There's still 2 minutes left in this map. There is another vault. It definitely looked like it went through a gateway, and we'll get started on A. So people seem to really like this kind of structure in the middle here, but there is a nice RPG that went off. We are watching the Scallywags take a lot of damage. There's Wally as he's trying to find anybody he can, getting pop shots off left to right. Brings Brendy down. Really good move for him. That does bring the favor back into his team's fight. Wally gets his health res back up, throws goo to try and build a wall. RPG went off right on top of him. Does look like he brought down maybe one of his own teammates in that fight somehow. Wally trying to stay alive if he can, goes into gas and sadly gets wiped.
Oh my gosh, there's no way. Dark Horse actually about to hold this. No, but here comes Busy with that minigun, about to just shred this light. He's just gonna go down. There's nowhere that Ant can hide against the big bad minigun. Busy getting the hell out of dodge now. All he wanted was to go ahead and just ruin Dark Horse's day. Now they have to reset and get a steal for Holthouse Finest come back. Meanwhile, Brick gonna get a plug on B. They're gonna go ahead and start the last cash out of this match. This last one to back on the other side. Finally, Dark Horse successfully getting a steal. They're able to hold this, but can they hold this against the two teams that are now pushing into them? Caught in a little bit of crossfire. Rendy gets taken down by Dark Horse. Pushing Cobra, very, very low, has to get away. Nice drop by that dome, separates enough. He's able to take out Lamp still left. Eric with the heals, but Eric is down. This is Cobra by himself. He has to make enough separation, but he gets picked off by the backside as well. Gonna get a steal from Dark Horse. Dark Horse almost pulling off the miracle come from behind, but they can't quite do it. And that is most likely going to be going the way of Scallywags as all eyes turn towards point B and whether or not Rick can hold this one.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, we haven't seen a lot of third-party cash outs right now. Nobody's kind of pushed into them, and it's really been two very distinct fights as we watch these cash outs just slowly tick down. Scallywags very uncontested at the moment. It does seem like we should maybe go over to B, because I think I'm seeing 3 teams get into the combat over there. I see orange, I see pink, and I see purple, all moving on to this cash out. Cash out is halfway done. Steele is trying to go off. Looks like this is great damage with that XP. He jumps up, but he's invis. He spots out another one. He's trying to get any damage he can. There is the mesh shield, goes up to block it. Cash out is down to the last 15 seconds. Can Dark Horse jump on it in time? We see them jumping in. They're going for the steal, trying to body block, but everybody is around. There's fire as well. Dashes into it. There's 15 seconds left.
Start now.
They need to get on it. They won't have time. Nobody's close. Scallywags are just fighting all around them, buying time, and there it goes. So the Scallywags and Bricked take first and second.
And that was definitely a little bit different from what we saw in Group 1, but look at the cash out scores here. Quite a discrepancy as we get towards our scoreboard. Take a look at this because this is a really, really interesting scoreline as we kind of jump into this. Because the scores of these 3 teams, the top 3 teams, very, very close when we look at the amount of money that is separated. That is only 12,000 separating number 1 and number 3. Once you get to that final cash out, that's nothing. That really doesn't matter at all. And look at the number of kills as well. That's 18 kills on the side of Holthouse Finest, and that's 21 kills for Scallywags there up at the first place. So both of these teams putting up crazy numbers, and a lot of that money really coming from that kill count.
Yeah, Yeah, and that is something to really point out. And real quick, I just want to break it down because I saw a couple comments in chat asking if these are world tour rules, and they
Yes.
kind of are, but we don't have the weird modifiers. So there is no wipe for when you die. We can't do it in private matches, but it is still, so somewhat world tour, but no weird modifiers like we have right now. I kind of like the modifiers, but it's not what we want to see in matches like this. But
Can you imagine an entire lobby just with pros throwing CL40s around each other? I mean, it'd be fun, but it would.
that is my dream, Walt. That is I go to bed at night thinking that maybe one day I'll wake up and the CL40 will be meta, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
Oh man, I don't think we'll ever quite see that day. That would be a very loud and explosive day if Male 40 was.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but there were a couple times the team I really want to highlight. We saw a lot of great stuff. Also, I want to see if Busy's that mini out again. That's gonna be
Oh
exciting to
my
watch.
god, that
But
was so much fun.
Dark Horse were really close a couple times. They had some nice plays. They held some sight lines. They just couldn't really make it work right at the very end. And I don't want to. I think that just kind of comes down to partially their team play was connected. And again, if we look at their teams right now, I'm wondering if this, but they are running double medium, and I believe they were doing that in the match as well. So once again, we have one team going double medium when the rest of the lobby is currently going the classic. Right now, I think we call it kind of the standard light medium heavy composition. So I wonder if that's also potentially causing them some issues as they just don't have the ability to get the same tempo.
Yeah, and we definitely saw that having more issues in the last group, so it does kind of make sense. And I've said it before, but it's really wild to me that we see lights in this capacity. The game is in such a good state right now that we are seeing light, medium, heavy being the true meta, but none of that really matters as we watch Lamp try and get some shots off. Oh my god, that tracking! What the hell was that? He's now chasing down another one, throws up that mesh shield. He's a true god of a heavy, but goes down from the M60. What the heck was that tracking? Literally stunned in that fight. There's one more person left on Halto's Finest, but I think he's trying to run away before he gets wiped, and sadly, it is just like a mitt as he is running up and down. See the bounce pad or the gateway going off. He does take it. He's still trying to hunt for this, waiting for his team to maybe come back. I don't really know what he's trying to do here.
He is popping off right now. He won versus 3 so far. Picked off 2, survived, but once again, he's by himself. Keeping a very close eye on commit because, again, has a sonar grenade to keep an eye on his team there. He spots eyes. This is just going to be a quick kill. Already ant down. Sonar grenade drops that. He has Invis to go ahead and slip away as well. Eyes on that heavy. That's going to be a lot of damage. Gets away himself. Only half of his health lost. An easy trade for Commit to make it at this point. Meanwhile, Holthouse Finest, the rest of his team, Commit has delayed long enough that his respawn. They are back. They are angry. Lamp does go down, but Brendy is there to finish him up. Brendy very low himself as well. The only one left. There's one on each team. Commit once again in a one against. Switch over now. B as Busy again with that minigun is just mowing people down. Has to find a way to get onto that point. They do have the cash out. They are defending it right now, and they're holding against one light left on the side of Scallywag. Scallywag falling before the strength of that minigun. Right?
Yeah, and we see Bizal with that minigun in hand. He's in a great position, watching this cash out just tick down. They have plenty of time. I don't even see anybody that close to them, so they have a great setup. Nobody seems to be wanting to go against this minigun, and instead it looks like the fight might be moving more towards cash out A, as Halto's Finest get this plugged in. Actually, nobody's really near Halto's Finest, but there is Dark Horse, as they've actually spawned very close to them. They're making their approach now, and Halto's Finest will be able to spot them out because they are right on top of them on this rooftop. But there is Cobra as they're making their advance. They have a great sight line, but they don't know that one of Dark Horse's people is off to the right, so this will be a great opportunity for them to get caught out. There is their light player. He is struggling to stay in it. Like it goes down in that. That is some amazing usage of the M60. I can't do that, and I'm amazed anytime I see somebody pull it off like that.
I'm excited to see somebody running the M60 for so long. We haven't. Ready with that goo. Miss on the goo. Okay, the goo actually hits, and his teammate is there. A revive onto Commit. About to hold this. The C4 does do some damage, not a lot. There's no dome either. He didn't drop it. I'm not sure why he didn't, and now he's lost. doing some damage, is going to pop both of those bubbles, but he can't do enough. Lamp just comes through and cleans them up both with that SA-12, just running over them with the damage coming out. A little bit of a, again, they're just, I think this is the speed. These best teams are just faster with their movements. They have to be quicker to get these steals. And again, this is something we see over here right now with Bricked as Busy popping this vault. They're going to be very quick off, but back on point again. Scallywag, finest chance to steal. I'm Light behind you is here using up that zip line. He has eyes on the entirety of Holthouse Finest. They're so far away. Somebody might be able to actually go for a steal as he looks to be hitting that glitch grenade. The glitch grenade, Holthouse Finest using their gateway to get back behind. You can see he was trying to glitch out of the sky, but quite missed. Now he's behind. I'm Light behind you, dashing around, is able to commit, but gets gunned down by Lamp as Lamp is pushing in. Still 2 members left on the Holthouse Finest, but Lamp is the last member. He got taken down. Brendy is by himself, but Walio's taken out. Behind you is one, but it's heavy that has almost all of his health versus a very damaged Light. Lamp for his team is holding this, and Holthouse again taking a cash out as we move back towards C. Brick taking out a full team wipe actually with the minigun, and a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah, this is a action-packed match with a lot of damage being dealt from both teams. Cobra with 4K damage already. What are you doing? This is insane. There's a lot of heavy hitters, but on the same spectrum of that, we see Dark Horse and Ant has just not gotten a kill. He's got 300 damage. He's really just relying on his team. So we maybe need to see him kind of step it up, because the point discrepancy between the first and second and third and fourth is massive. They're going to need to get at least one cash out, and most likely it's all going to come down to these last two.
Yep. Two teams kind of attempting to go for a third party on C are going to run into each other, not what they wanted to do, and they're going to separate. Nice play from them, force the defending team to do something. Busy, again, in this defensive position, have such an interesting build as well. For seen ahead run RPG, actually. Busy running a really nice thing, but the point is on. Purple has dropped it. Dark Horse looking for a quick steal. Meanwhile, Scallywags are running onto the point, looking for this third party. They have the high ground, looking for that RPG. RPG does go off, does a lot of damage. Ant gets taken down. Pepe has to back out using that shield, but he's already lost one of his members. Wally is down. Light behind you is so low. He goes down himself. That's 2 members down from Brick. Meanwhile, all of Scallywags is down. Holthouse Finest is holding, commit damage, and they're just holding onto the site. But Dark Horse going for a last-second steal, pushed away by Lamp. He's doing a lot to defend this point. Corpora is down as well, just beaming from Lycommit right now, finishing off a third with Ant. That's team wipe. Meanwhile, the steal is trying to go out. Looks like there was a successful steal. They managed to get the retake. Holthouse Finest taking this back from Brick. A nice play. Commit doing so much, just controlling this team fight, and he finishes off SDN. Another team wipe. That is 3 team wipes in a row for Holthouse Finest, and a successful steal. They cannot be stopped. Plus, they got the plug on D, so they have another cash out they're ready for.
Yeah, Holthouse Finest are terrifying in this match. They seem to have everything going for them. They have the cash, they have the kills, they have Lycommit playing Light with that XP. There is a gateway. They don't even care that their last cash out got stolen. They just want to go for more fighting. We see it in the stairwell already kicking off. Brindy just trying to stay alive on 2 HP. He needs to move around. There's a DMAT. He's going for a res. Not sure if he got his teammate back up, but he does see that Lamp is down still, so they are down to just 2 people. Brindy very low, but he gets the kill with the Cerberus. Back to the action inside that stairwell. It is down to just Lycommit on 20 health. He's going for a res, and honestly, it's what he needs to do at this moment.
Yeah, he gets that res and went all the way to get the plug just to make sure that gets started. We're not in danger of the game ending necessarily. It's only going to be at this point. Well, back over to D. It looks like Brick successfully able to get a steal. Looks like they did wipe Scallywags. Scallywags, this time, the team that's not doing well, they haven't been able to put anything together, and Busy somehow making it work with that minigun, has 7 kills right now. That's crazy.
Wow.
Amazing stuff. We got to make sure to keep an eye on him in this next match, and if they push onto this point. But for right now, over on to B, and all eyes on this cash out. There is a vault that might get plugged, but it's so late in the game that we have to figure out where they're pushing. Again, look at this man's loadout. He has a minigun, he has C4 drop shield, and he has a lock bolt. When have you seen a heavy not run RPG? This is crazy, and maybe this is a sign of something to feature, because they have a decision right now to make. Are they going to push for B? B is where a lot of the fighting is happening right now, and they have made the decision. Busy has made the call. We're pushing in towards B. He has eyes. He wants to use that minigun. He wants to spray people as the overhead view. Use that lock bolt. Does he connect with it? Doesn't quite connect with him. And now there goes the RPG. The spinning up. He's going to go ahead and finish off one. He finishes it off two. A nice spray from both. That's 2 people down already. Scallywags are reduced to a single member who is holding off this point. There's C4 on there. Are they going to be able to get the steal? The C4 might go off. It is going to go off successfully there, but there's the minigun pumping out damage. The bullets are flying, and he is just destroying the arena around him. Almost finishes off one. Does take off Eric. Eric is going to revive, though. Ant, currently Dark Horse in control of this cash out. This isn't going to net them a win, but it is going to keep them in 3rd place. This will be the last cash out, as the vault is not going to get plugged. Ant is going to do this. Nice! Rendy actually getting the better of that first engagement, and they are holding still. Only 17 seconds left in this match right now as they get pushed once more. The fight coming in. Looks like we do have Bricks trying to take this in the last second. Scallywags pushing in as well. Again, Ant is just not missed with these Cerberus shots right now. As it's 6 seconds left, he successfully delayed enough, and that is going to Dark Horse taking the first cash out, I believe, of their match.
Jeez, and then we have Halto's Finest right on top again. They are terrifying. Like I said, they're getting the kills, they're getting everything, and honestly, viewers, if you have never heard of Halto's Finest, I guarantee you it is a name that you will hear and will continue to hear. We knew about them a year ago in Breakout as they won that event, probably the first biggest event, and they're still here. I love the team, I love the composition, probably some of my favorite people, but that isn't to take away from anybody else in this match. Dark Horse doing really well to come in second, just a barely behind Halto's Finest, and then we have Bricked in 3rd. I'm sorry, I got these backwards. It is Bricked that got 2nd and Dark Horse that got 3rd, and then finally the Scallywags with a really bad fall all the way into 4th.
Yeah, this is what sometimes happens, and I think if we see this happen again, we can take this as maybe an indication of sort of some struggles from them. But really, I think this just points to cash out can be a volatile game mode. It is hard, and that is why we're not running just a couple games of this. We said there are 8 total days, and each team plays 4 games every single time they play. That's 32 matches of cash out. If you are not consistent across 32 matches of cash out, then that's not just luck, that you are getting, you either have the worst luck known to man, or you're just not quite up at that level. So across 32 games, those points are going to start to even out. That starts to kind of break down as these teams play a significant amount of cash out. So we'll see if they can come back. Busy had 10, and he went 10 and 2 with a minigun.
I love it. Is this going to be meta now, Waltz? I never thought that we would see it. I thought it was going to be more in like the CL40 range of like weapons that are unique. They have a nice appeal, but in reality, nobody's going to use them. But what is it? Is it working because it's cash out? Is it working because he's just the first good player with the minigun? What is your perspective?
You know what I think it is? I think it's because he has a good team with him. And here's why. As I'm watching him make his STN running DMAT and he's running jump pad, the biggest problem with minigun is what? That you're slow and you can't make. If you have a medium with to give you a jump pad, you spin the minigun up, you hit the jump pad, all of a sudden you're on already ready to go. You don't have to wait for that spin up by running upstairs, anything like that. Same with the DMAT. You spin up, your heavy drops you down, you're in the middle of 3 people. It's a lot like a sled. You drop in the middle and you have that minigun going. Any dome shields are going to melt in a. So unsurprised, I think, to see his team enabling him, and I think that might be the difference maker. Is it's not so much that he's a really good player with it. We've seen good players do well, but I think his team has figured out how to play with them, because they didn't just run it once; they run it 2 games in a row.
Yep, absolutely, Waltz. I think that is a good observation and something that we will have to watch. Is he going to continue to pick it? I'm curious if it was also map dependent. Did you see in the first map if he was running minigun? Because I didn't think he was. But, you know, it is going to change as we move into it. But Fortune Stadium, he was running it in the last map. Okay, so it's a man on a mission. So if you guys want to see some great minigun action, TTV Biz Wow Yao is really kind of impressing us so far, and it might just kind of be all around his team as well. But we are going to get into it. Will we see Halto's Finest maybe slip out of first? Will this be their first match to not come in the top? I'm not sure. I quite like Fortune Stadium, and we are getting right into it.
And as we look at these numbers right here, just keeping an eye busy again with that minigun. This isn't just a meme. I think they will lead in this, and I'm excited to see how they play. Like I said, I think this is based on sort of the teamwork that they can do. I think mesh probably the best option with this, but they're setting up really high, not going to run straight at this vault like they often do, but Stewie quite low. Is that lock bolt? I've seen a lot of people running lock bolt. I was watching Lamp the other day on his stream using the lock bolt. Well, I think this was something I know when it first that was way too strong, and I think it is kind of showing that now, but there goes Stewie down. SDN, Busy is by himself. Can he do minigun?
Oh my
God! He can't quite do. Everyone is so low there. If he had had just 50 more health, I think we might have seen Busy turn this around, but Lamp finishing this off for his team, and Brendy as well doing the work, and they are going to take this vault over to Cash Out B and get this started, as we do have both Cash Outs now started. One of them is for Dark Horse on the other side. Dark Horse, a kill for each of them. They're starting this off strong.
Yeah, I do love it when you see that kind of teamwork in unison from somebody like Dark Horse. One kill on each player, and then the combat scores really do support that as well. So just kind of really good teamwork. There's a C4 that goes off right at the feet of the Scallywags. It looks like it caught one of them, an RPG being loaded up. If they can spot one out, they are all bundled up, and this will be a great position and great play by right onto a beam. He shoots his RPG off, making Cash Out drop again. That takes himself damage with it. Takes down Pepe with the SG-12 shotgun, dealing a lot of damage. There's a Cerberus, and it looks like Halto's Finest will continue to dominate.
Yeah, Scallywags unable to get the better of Halto's Finest. Halto's Finest are firing on all cylinders. Like you said, they are clearly feeling confident, and they are in their element right now with a very nice wipe. Set up that defense C4, multiple gas barrels. It's going to be incredibly hard for any team, really, to take this right, as they are only about 30 seconds. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, again, eyes on Busy. Here's Ant Dark just trying to get onto this Cash Out, trying to get this started. Here's a jump, Ant with that Cerberus, but they've all been lock bolted. They're all caught in place. Does finish off Busy. That minigun not going to be started up. Ant waiting for his team, defending once again. The steal has begun, but they're dematted down. Only one member left. Stewie, can he hold this off? The steal has to begin right now if they have any chance for it. You don't have a second chance. You have to start this. In his behind, Arok is going to get taken down. It is Stewie's going to wipe him out. Stewie, 1 versus 2, finishing off the defense, and he's able to hold this for his team. Meanwhile, back on the other side, Halto's Finest once again defending against Scallywags. Scallywags trying to get the better of them, but Brendy is here with that Cerberus. Lamp as well, doing the damage he needs through the wall. A nice side shot, taking out Pepe. Brendy with the movement, and that DMAT is going to clean them up. Halto's Finest with 9 kills already in this match.
Okay, so I want to break down what we just saw in those last 15 seconds, because there was a call that went out that's saying, like, hey, there is somebody and he's behind this wall. So there was coordination and teamwork that in that call that they were like, he's there. They dematted the wall. They chased him down and they got the kill. This is why Halto's Finest is so deadly and probably in the lead so far. Teamwork like that just takes time. And with a game that's only been out for, what, a year and a fourth? And it is just not a lot. And this is the most comprised team that we have so far. Oh, Eric with some great shots with the revolver. Unfortunately, unable to kind of get that last little bit of tickle damage he needs on the person he was fighting. And now we are watching them as he jumps out of that building, hops back in, goes for a heal, making sure his team is nice and healthy. Everybody's a little spread out. The vaults are out. No Cash Out started. We're watching as the teams just get set up and get ready for this next bit.
Everyone seems to be posturing around D. They want to get this plug. Halto's Finest running with the Cash Out right now as side view of the entire fight, deciding when is he going to get picks. with this revolver, waiting for his chance, jumps in, hits the ground, looking to his right. He spots one, but he's still in the air. Drops low on that zip, hits one, waiting for the other, has a grenade, separates the fight. Goes back up, is looking for his heavy goo again to go ahead and out a dodge. He's just separating, waiting for his whole team to gather together. Pushing out with that heel beam, nice move from them. Reset the fight, don't get engaged when they don't need to. It's a re-engagement, getting up from the high ground. Everybody is on this 1 point. Nobody's even looked at 4. Meanwhile, we have pretty much every team here. And on the ground, low ground, we have a team stealing. Holthouse fine. They're about to get backstabbed by Airrock. Airrock with that revolver. He's about to run into 2 teams. Backs away. Has eyes on the entirety of Dark Horse dropping. The rest of his team with him. A lot of movement, but not a lot of seeing anyone right now. He wants to find anybody to pick off with the revolver. Right in the stairwell, his teammate comes around with the M60 firing, looking for the backstab. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, immediately disintegrates. Light behind you, looking for the second, looking for the follow-up. Lamp is low, gets another hit as well. There's a lock bolt finishing off. He hits 1 hit, hits 2, looking for that third. He has to just get a melee to finish him off. Airrock up and down. He keeps hitting that zip line. Nice move from him, and behind his team actually successfully getting a steal. Wall of Fright is spread up, but unfortunately that is a loss for him. Busy and the rest of his team. Rick is looking for a steal on the reverse end. Cobra, his teammate's about to go down. Airrock as well. He's left, but can he protect the steal as well on the backside? Has some goo in place, and no steal is going out. That is Stewie versus Cobra, 1 versus 1. He has his dome shield. Stewie prancing around right now with that dash, looking to get the pick on him. That's a glitch, prevents him. Stewie with the better of the 1 versus 1. Ant and Airrock are both up. They both coined in, so that is 2. No, but he gets taken out as well. Ant got caught. Airrock is the only one left on his team, and he's not anywhere close. This is going to be Brick getting a steal. Dark Horse were so close to holding it, but here come Holdout's Finest. If you want to steal, you're going to have to wait Finest, because they are going to find you, but Busy with that minigun is just destroying Holdout's Finest as they try to get onto the point. Taking out 1. They successfully got the steal. That's 2 down as well. Lamp has been finished off. Busy looking for the last member. Like Commit is just running. He does not want to face the hellish fire of minigun right.
Yeah, it does look like things have changed up quite drastically from the last map to this one. We're not seeing Halto's Finest being the dominating force here. We are watching Pepe as he chases them down with that SA shotgun, and he does get a wipe on Dark Horse. We are seeing them in the stairwell. It's a great place to be while your cash out slowly ticks down. Watching this as the steal is going off. They need to make a move into it. Pepe watching his teammates. They throw goo down, probably blocking his advance. I think his teammate did that on accident. A little bit of miscommunication there. We're watching Pepe trying to get into this. He spots somebody in his crosshairs, dealing some damage from them, unable to connect. There's that RPG loading back up. We need to see them do something. RPG goes off, taking some pop shots with the SA, but really just goes right into that mesh shield. This cash out is down to the last 5 seconds, and it seems like the Scallywags have finally gotten a cash out.
Scallywags holding this close, and everyone, we have 2 teams quite close right now. Scallywags and Holthouse Finest are next. Vault is going to mean a lot. On the backside, though, Dark Horse getting a tap on that vault, and they're going to get a quick and easy plug on Cash Out B because nobody is there to stop them. They're going to get a really quick start on that. A lot of tempo, and we have a minute left as the Scallywags move to the top. Will they go and contest 6, or are they going to head straight towards B? Looks like they decided they're going to contest B. Pepe leading his team on the approach towards Dark Horse's Scallywags. Yeah, Scallywags going to go ahead and try to take them out right now, tame those well. Knock them off their pedestal, because this wall is, again, unfortunately, Dark Horse not going to be able to get first place, even if they cash out. Busy is just mowing down Lamp in the meantime. That's the better heavy gun right now. Finishes off. Just melting Commit as well. Brendy, the last member of House Finest, going to go ahead and reload that minigun. Only 17 seconds left, so Lamp Busy not gonna have time, but do they even want to plug this? This is not a cash out they want to plug. Throw this to the side of the map because they would lose their first play. Cobra, Dark Horse again, really struggling to defend these cash outs. He has the high ground, but his team is not up for a couple more seconds. The tracking is working. He does get taken down, but he gets taken down as well. That is Ant has fortunately spawned in. So there is still 1 left, but the steal is going out. This Scallywags are able to successfully hold the steal, and they're going to take this drop. Does delay it for a second, but Wally rides it down and is successfully able to hold that. Scallywags holding cash out B with a chance to just barely eke out Bricked for first place. This first place is a solid 30 points just for that difference between seconds matter. Might look for the plug. Definitely going to look for the third party right behind you with that from Moss doing a lot of damage. Can't finish off anyone from Holthouse Finest, and his team is completely dead. He has to get out of here. Not a lot of time for his team to respawn, and he is completely dead. That is a complete wipe for Scallywags. Holthouse Finest again trying to spoil the party, going for a last second steal, but they're getting shot from behind, unable to hold this. This is the down to the last couple seconds. They have to start this now. SDN unable to do this as well. They've taken him down. Lamp can't finish this off. Can't. Seconds left. He can't even get the kill. Holthouse Finest unable to keep up their winning streak, and Brick take it with a tie for first place. The only reason they stay first is because they made it there first.
Wow, that was wild. And hey, we finally saw Holthouse Finest drop down a peg or two. So that was really wild. And one thing that I loved was that the Scallywags basically got wiped, and then there was so much chaos happening on top of the point that they ended up getting the cash out no matter what. So it ended up working out for them, even though they got completely wiped, and then that brought them up into second place. So very lucky for them. We could definitely see Holthouse Finest try to dive on it at the very last second, but wow. And a tie. Waltz, what happens in a tie?
Well, in a tie, the first person to reach that score. So in this case, Bricked were at 38-5 before Scallywags got there. And the way this works is if you're the first person to get to a specific score, the next person has to get past you. So one more kill, just a single kill, and Scallywags would have been able to take first place, and they would have eked out Bricked. But they couldn't quite get it. It was that close. It was that close, and they have to be kicking themselves for that one. Fortunately, Bricked, in command of that entire map, almost dropped it at the very last second. I agree with the decision not to double because they did not have control of the cash out. It would have definitely decided them losing first, but they probably could have gotten there a little bit faster, secured their position. Regardless, didn't end up mattering anyways, and they take the first place in that map. And I believe that was our map 3, correct?
It is. It was our map 3. So we have one more map to come up, and it will be on Vegas. You know, whilst the team that seems to be doing the worst right now is Dark Horse. What would you do if you were in Dark Horse's shoes? Or I guess hoofs. What would you do?
Well, we are going to Vegas, and where better to be a Dark Horse than in Vegas? Just put everything on red. Just absolutely send it. I would really, really like to see them just try something really unique here. They're running the double medium. Shake it up. I know they probably don't feel comfortable with it. You know, maybe throw in a light there. Shake up their weapons a little bit. If you're not hitting with a revolver, it's okay. You can switch off. Just try something a little different. Shake up your strategy some. It's clearly just not hitting properly. So I want to see, and this is the beauty of the number of games that we're playing. You have time to adapt. So often, like even in these best of 5, if you're playing 3 versus 3, just 2 matches, it's hard to find time to adjust your strategy. It's hard to find time to sort of change what you're doing. But in these, you have so many games that you can try something completely different. So I would love to see Dark Horse do that. Just you know, adjust their strategy a little bit. Clearly, the light is a very important part of the teams that are doing they can put out, but also the ability and the scouting, especially when this game is this chaotic. Knowing where teams are coming from is really big, and I think that's why some teams, not just scouting.
Well, and I think you said it right, that like with so many matches, it is the opportunity to kind of play around, to test things out. You know, these teams might have played against each other, but things change. We are only, 12 days into Season 6? Things are not set in stone. We do have new weapons. We're seeing them being used. I think right now we've only seen the ARN and the minigun, but there it is. The minigun right away does go down in that Commit, chasing somebody as he goes up that zip line in a very convincing fashion, going for the res on his team. Now we see Pepe trying to get a res back off. I do see 2 team wipes, so these are the 2 teams that will take the next cash out onto the vault, or take the next vault onto the cash out. Ooh.
There's a lot of action. It's just nonstop action, and that kind of builds into the point I want to talk about. We say the tempo a lot. It's a word we don't really use a lot when we're casting threes, but in cash out, tempo is everything. Because if you get ahead, this tempo is really the balance. These vaults, the vault plugs, and the timing on your cash out. Right now, these cash outs basically the same amount of time, so there's no advance in time. One team had an earlier cash out, they have the ability to go take the other one. Just like Commit has the ability to
Oh!
Now the minigun is spin up, and he just gets melted from the side. Looking for a lot of damage. STN is here. There is one member down for Holthouse Finest. STN is pushing in. All three of them available. All three of them up, trying to get a wipe before they push for anything. He spotted Brendy. He goes down, immediately set up Blaze, looking through the wall, has eyes almost. Brendy getting away by the skin of his teeth, and Commit is back up. Versus 3 once again. They haven't been able to find anyone. This is another part of the Cerberus. They can get rid of that gas if you so need. Holds the steal. He decided to drop off it at the last second. Busy. You can hear him with that minigun. He's going, but the Cerberus is doing so much damage. He gets the assist. It's 1 versus 1 right now. Commit goes down. Stewie getting the better of this light versus light battle, and Commit, I think, losing out in kind of a clutch situation. He hasn't lost that clutch situation in quite a while while we've been watching, so that's going to be successful. No, it's not going to be successful. The last second Zerg by Gremlin and crew are pushing in. I'm late behind you. Pumping out damage with that SA-12. That's a quick wipe. Rick got caught completely unawares and just got ruined.
Oh my god, I love matches like this. That is just the unexpectedness of cash out. And Walt, we just don't see that. We're normally doing final round 3 versus 3, so this is just so exciting to watch. They had no idea that they were about to come in there and absolutely just drop on top of them. And that's what you love to see. They were trying to get set up, get the steal, but didn't have time. We are now moving over as they try and move on to Cash Out B. Cash Out B slowly ticking down. There is the mesh shield by Holthouse Finest. They're trying to move in. We see the SA trying to follow anybody down, getting a lot of shots off on Ant. I think they have just enough time to steal this. They just blocked underneath one of the platforms.
No,
it's a really good spot to be.
Oh my
gosh. They did! They got the steal. What an amazing play, and what a good movement for the destruction of this environment to fall like it did.
Oh, that is brutal for Dark Horse. If that doesn't take the wind out of your sails, I don't know what will, because that was... And just incredible stuff. They kept running at that point, trying to hold it, but they couldn't quite make it happen. Dark Horse are just unable to catch a break so far. And again, we talked about this tempo. Holthouse Finest now, with that quick steal, they're going to be able to open a completely uncontested vault. Meanwhile, there is going to be fighting happening, or even just touching. Only tapped right now, so Holthouse Finest with this gateway as well, going to be very far ahead as Brendy looking to get through Lamp with some range with the SA-12, knocks down the zip. Followed. The vault about to finish up. Is it successfully going to go through? Yes, it does. There's the plug. Holthouse Finest in control of this next vault.
Yep, Holthouse Finest coming back after maybe just a little bit of a wipe in the last map, but there is Brindy taking some shots. We're watching Eric with this revolver doing some great damage. Probably one of the best revolver players I've seen so far. And it does seem like I'm watching this revolver play, and it seems like he's not even aiming down the sights most of the time. So he's getting like hip fire damage and really connecting these shots. So truly something I love to see. Dark Horse, maybe they took my advice and they are trying to step things up. I would love to see them come back. This is all about Vegas, where your luck can change on a dime. Maybe the Dark Horses will get lucky.
And this is the moment where they need to get lucky more than everything. Who's showing up at the big bad Holthouse Finest here once again? And there's the sirens. The sonar has pinged them. They are in the open. Brendy does get dropped by some damage there. Not sure if that was an explosion from an RPG. Not sure what took him down, but quickly. So Dark Horse, they've been spotted. They do know where they are. Holthouse Finest have to make the decision. Do they go for a steal? They have dropped the cash out, but approaching with that crouch. Not getting spotted, but they've been seen from behind like Commit has them, but they do a quick, just melting Lamp. They've seen Brendy. Brendy gets the better of that 1 versus 1 still. Just 2 right now, but there's a on to the medium. 3 members of Dark Horse up again, but they're trying to finish him off. It's a disaster. 2 versus 1. Cobra by himself. The reses weren't enough. Can he finish off 1 health? Cobra has the ability to hold onto this if he can. He's backing away. I don't know if this is the right play because Lamp might just try to stick. He's actually getting a res coin from both members of Dark Horse, but this is a whole mid. He has to stop for a second. Wait, Cobra finish off 2. He's actually about to the wipe, the full team wipe by himself, dancing around with that mesh shield. He's trying, he does! Commit gets taken out. Cobra, the hero of his team, with a 1 versus 3, taking out Holthouse Finest. That is the luck they needed.
Wow, what a good play. They were able to hold it, and that's what you love to see. They're going against some of the hardest players in this Halto's Finest, and they got the wipe on it. There is everybody on top of this rooftop just dealing damage left and right. Another one diving on top of it, and this is just madness on this rooftop. Everybody just decided now is the time to fight, and the teams have died, and they have gone their separate ways as we move over to Vault 6. Halto's Finest tapping it, but let's take a look at the scores here, because it does seem like from last to first, it's not that big of a spread, and really just need probably one cash out to take last place, the Scallywags, into first. So I love right now though that I've seen such an immeasurable improvement from Dark Horse. This is what I wanted them to see. Maybe they heard me, maybe they were like, yeah, let's give Rio a show, whatever. I am gonna believe the second part, but here they are, and the next vault has been opened. Both teams have them going down. There's a nice RPG onto Lamp, does take a little bit of damage. He posts up his mesh shield and blocks a good amount of it. Watching Brindy now as he goes through the door or through the wall with that D-mat. He is getting chased from behind, glitch barrel in hand, so maybe they have something that they're planning. It does look like one of them went down and they need to get that res or just wait for the coins. They are in control of this cash out, so they will have the coin advantage, the defender's advantage, so they're able to spawn back in. Like him back in the fight. They are calling to group up. There's Brindy telling his teammates to get over here. Don't go in directly. We need to do this as a team. You see them grouping up, and this is a great play for Halto's Finest.
Yeah, Halto's Finest were able to successfully weather the aggression, even though they lost like commit. He's get up, and now they have the ability to choose their fights. RPG does a lot of damage. There's shield able to eat that. Lamp continues to push the aggression, backed up by Brendy. Brendy has found the heavy, pushes in one hit. Taking out two. Arok, the only sole remainder, and gets wiped by light commit. Dark Horse were so close. They had one down. They just couldn't find Halto's Finest, and I think they just hesitated. You have to bait them out. When you got that 3-minute advantage, start that steal, try for it, but unfortunately, they hesitated, and they were able to, Halto's Finest, get together, reset, and are now firmly in control of these final vaults.
Yes, they are. We have a total of maybe 50 seconds left. Now we're actually down to 40, and the cash outs are slowly ticking down. Halto's Finest has a fourth left on this. Doesn't seem like anybody wants to go against him just yet. Lamp is set up there, throws the C4 down as we move over to B. This is where the fighting will happen. Wally trying to get any shot he can, going up with that Cerberus, pushing himself into each other's faces, and sadly gets wiped there, so the Scallywags will go down, unable to take the steal. And we move over to Lamp as he just cleans up, and we will definitely see the way that these first two cash outs go. Really good performances from these teams today.
And that is, again, Bricked coming out on top. They've found their stride. Halto's Finest started off with a commanding performance, but Bricked have found it. And he has not stopped running that minigun. I think Busy genuinely believes in the strength of this minigun, at very least in this mode. I don't think we're going to see it. Well, I'm going to make this claim now. I don't think we're going to see him run it in 3 versus 3. I think it's not versatile enough. But I do think in this chaotic mode, I think it works for them. But we'll have to see. Y'all can clip that and play it back if he decides to run it the entire season. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, really good stuff. Actually, interestingly enough, Scallywags switched it up to a double medium as well this time.
Okay.
They definitely were struggling that last match, and I think this was their attempt to make a change, but it just didn't seem to work out for them. Unfortunately, Wally only picking up 1 kill that entire match. Again, Scallywags, I don't want to say this is them playing poorly. They're a very good team. We've seen them do really, really well in the past. They went really far to breakout as well. Could be just kind of getting the crap end of the stick a little bit, and just not having the right luck. It's like you said, it's Vegas. It goes up, it goes down. Fortunately, so they can come back, and they did well in their first 2 matches, so they have a chance to fix things, and there are still many, many, many more matches for return. What a dominant performance from both Bricked and Halto's Finest. Just continuously, those 2 teams were always at the top of the
Yeah, and honestly, with the Pro League as it is, this is what makes it so exciting is that we can actually start to track these teams as they go from week to week. So this might not be, the week for the Scallywags or Dark Horse, but it could be in 2 weeks or even next week. We will see them adapt and change. And I think that's what's the most exciting thing about this whole, event and this whole, league so far is that nobody has done this. Nobody has given these teams the opportunity to play, to evolve, to continue doing stuff like this. So I'm certain that what we're seeing today will be so different from what we see
Yes.
at the end of Series Zero being done. So lots of really good plays, lots of amazing performances today. I really got to give it to Halto's Finest because they were really fun to watch as always. But on the other side of it, with Bizao with the minigun. Just love to see it. Never know what to expect, but that does bring us to the end of Group B. So we will be moving over to Group C now. But before we do, production, let's go ahead and bring up the overall scores and let's just see where everybody kind of placed so
Yeah.
far.
Very excited to see where that is. If we have all of the scores in, the tally is there.
Ah,
Team Dis still standing in a commanding first position. We saw them just destroy that first match. But look at this. Bricked at 418 points. Their
wow.
commanding wins have placed them in second after their first set of games. Meanwhile, Holthouse Finest following up in with 304 points. It's a very tight spread there between
Yeah.
second and fourth. That is basically just one game difference. Meanwhile, we have Scallywags a little further behind. And then we definitely have three teams that are kind of on the lower end of things. We're going to need to adjust and change some stuff up. 200 MS Blowers and Dark Horse definitely not out of it. You can see even this point spread not really that big. This is turn
No.
around, but very interesting scoreline so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I was saying right before, is that these numbers will adapt and change as we go through it. And if you have a favorite team, if they didn't make it into the top two so far, don't worry because this is only the very first play day and there's more to come. But with that, that does bring it into Group B and moves us on to one more group, which is Group C. And this is comprised of AHS, which is After Hours, Ape Squad, The Burger Boys, and Make a Wish Foundation. So we will have more games coming up. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to get some more caffeine in me and get some more water so that I can get as hyped and excited for Group C. And I know, Waltz, you'll be doing just the same. So everybody stay tuned and we will be right back.
Welcome to the Finals Pro League. This is the seasonal battleground where teams fight for dominance, bragging rights, and the ultimate title of regional and world champion. Season 1 kicks off with 2 qualifiers where only the strongest make it through. 3 teams from each qualifier will advance to the regular season. But getting there won't be easy. The format? A modified Swiss bracket. If you lose twice, you're out. Win 4 games and you punch your ticket to the league. Simple, brutal, competitive. In the regular season, the best 12 teams in each region battle it out over 2 intense splits, each lasting 2 weeks. Every split has 4 playdays, where teams are shuffled into fresh groups of 4. And if your squad isn't clicking, no worries. There's a short roster change window between splits. The format? Cash out. Placement and eliminations earn points, stacking up to determine playoff seeding. Only the top 2 teams in each region secure an automatic spot in the championship series, so every match matters. Out of the regular season and into the regular playoffs. The top 8 teams from the regular season start in the upper bracket, while the bottom 4 teams wait in the lower bracket, hungry to fight their way up. The format here is final round 3v3. Lower bracket is best of 1s until the semifinals, where it's best of 3. The upper bracket is best of 3s until the finals, which are a best of 7 showdown. Every playoff match earns teams points towards their season total, affecting their seeding for the grand finale, the championship series. 12 teams, 2 regions, 1 trophy. Welcome to the Championship Series. With an initial $500 prize pool and growing, this 2-day event will see the top 12 teams from both regions pitted against one another for the title of World Champion. The top 2 teams from each region get a free pass to round 2. Every match is best of 3 until the upper bracket finals go to best of 5, and the grand finals, best of 7. Only one team will stand at the top when the dust settles. We'll see you in the arena where we'll find out who can reach the finals.
Flashes is brewing this season of the finals!
The stars. Distant. Watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Spooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Spooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Spooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via, we as one.
The life giver. The sun. Always on. The source of everything that is good. But can it be trusted? Holtau's sun insurance will have you covered if the unimaginable happens and the light goes out. Holtau. Brighter than ever.
The raids are everyone as everybody is excited to watch group number 3 because this is where things are going to get wild. Rio, we have some crazy stacked teams. If you thought the last group was crazy, this group is also absolutely wild. You want to break down our teams?
Yes, I do. And absolutely stacked is putting it very mildly because these are, we were just talking, off camera, some of the wildest teams that we know. So getting started with it, we do have the Ape Squad, and Ape Squad is a very well-known team. I think it's actually funny because I see the most like apes tag in my games as I kind of play around. So the Ape Squad is composed of Rippy, Hash, and Bimo. So they will be fighting and continuing on from there. We have AHS, which is probably the only team name I don't know of.
After Hours.
Yeah, After Hours. And After Hours is comprised of Lasagna, Maddo, and Universe Slayer, also known as Uni. So I do know this stack, but they are running under a brand new name. So maybe this will bring them some luck. We will have to find out. Continuing things off, we then go to the Burger Boys, which maybe has one of the most well-known names in it, but it is Belize, Spring Hour, and then Graduating. And finally, we have one more, and I can't believe this is their team name, but it is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And the Make-A-Wish Foundation is comprised of Obese Grandma, Mr. Derp, which is Mr. Derp, if you guys didn't know, but we are calling him Grandma today. So, Grandma, you gotta make us a show. Followed up by, you say this second one because I can't do it, and then Z.
We have
So
Muches, and Z. So
Munches and Z.
this team has conspired to absolutely to make you lose your mind. Clearly,
Yes,
that
yes.
is, but nobody in this entire lobby is a slouch. Every players is in the top of the top. I'm hoping we get to Mexico at some point. I hope we see that because I'd love Grandma go to Grandma's house. Get in there. But as it stands, we're going back to Seoul. We're going to start every set with instructions are here. Guys, let's go ahead and get excited because we are loading in the first match.
Oh.
This is our group number 3. first match, and we're jumping into it right now, guys. The maps are starting, and yeah, we're gonna switch over just a second, guys. Show you that skyline as our teams are loading in, and we're about to see our initial fights as we're on Lasagna. Lasagna, a player in his own right, is able to interview this guy recently. They jump up. There goes the with that jump pad. Famas beating into Hashi. Hashi already down. The apes are getting out. They are being crumbled one by one. Rippy has been taken out and behind. Finish. Bimo also taken down. Lasagna is just ruining right now that Famas. He had the perfect sightline.
Yes, absolutely. You love to see a wipe already this quick into the match, and I do love this version of Soul. It's just way more fun, and honestly, I've talked to a lot of the players, and I think that they agree that it's probably the way that, honestly, Soul should be. This should be standard Soul, but I do love this kind of elevated structure in the middle. It makes for some interesting combat, but we're just going to avoid that for right now as we move to Cash Out B. It does look like Vault 1 is about to be plugged. There it goes. We are now moving over to Belize as he moves on with that shotgun, dealing some great damage. Just a tickle left on Obese Grandma, and he does get the kill. We see the dome shield go off, and the steal is being attempted by the Burger Boys. They are now in full control of this Cash Out as we watch Belize zip it out with the winch claw. Brings it out into the open, and really that's a great strategy. They're now going to try and get to higher ground so that they have as much of a vantage point as they can. This building makes for a really interesting point to do that on because there's lots of little areas for them to climb in and out of. We're now moving over to Mr. Grandma, as he moves forward, throws that grenade. Did not connect with anybody. There's a flash grenade. This is a wild build, as Waltz just said. He does get another flash off, but flashes himself in the process. We're seeing him with the double barrel as he's watching out and protecting his teammate. He finds Matt and gets him down. This is some great play from a really weird named player.
You know, and then so gets one hit, gets the second hit, knocks out Uni. Still Lasagna, the only one left currently for After Hours. But they did successfully get the steal, and I know exactly why he's running the flashes. And, you know, I'll give it to him. It's because he wants us to say that Grandma is flashing him.
Oh no!
You know, I'll give him that one.
Right.
You get one. You get one free, one derp. I'll let you have that. I see what you were doing. Lasagna and crew are trying to get a steal. This is Viper sitting on the point. Has that RPG loaded. It has it ready. There is a steal about to happen. Does he have his winch ready? He does. No! It got blocked by the goo! It's over Lasagna! They're able to get this back After Hours! A disastrous miscalculation by Make-A-Wish Foundation. They have to go back to the home and see if they can get another wish, because that one was denied.
Man, I don't know what happened. I felt like the goo wasn't blocking it, but I guess just from the angle that we saw, it did not work for them. And now we see Uni hopping over to him. He is using the AR-20 now, or 220, and yeah, that's not what he used to run. He used to run that MAC-10, so it's really kind of cool to see somebody as well known as Uni kind of trying something new. Maybe it's really the optimal weapon. I know after that buff, the AR is really a good weapon to use, so cool to see it in play. We see Uni set up in a nice little gargoyle foundation as he's trying to find anybody. There is the gateway going up. He's building an entrance for his team to get over there, but they are a little bit split up. There they go. They are now following as we make it over to Cash Out C. I think that it looks like maybe the next vault will be headed here in just a moment.
Yeah, Uni, like you said, he's done so much of the M11, and he's controlled that recoil like nobody else. If he can control that recoil, he can certainly control the ARM. With the buff, does a lot at long range where he likes to play, swapping out his classic LA. At least misses the jump pad. A little bit of a miscalculation for him. Has to go back. And, again, the man's too wide to get through that hole, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Out, looks for the next point. He's progressing on, and D is the next point. He's getting a little bit caught out. His light is down as well. Not sure where the rest of his team is. He's a little bit split from his team. Belize and Spring Hour kind of playing a part, grabs his totem and throws it back. His team is now up full strength, and they'll try to aggress onto D now, pushing into Make-A-Wish, the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, really interesting team play. I do love the coordination that they have going for them. Burger Boys seem to be in a good position, but they do get spotted out right away. We see now Spring Hour trying to go through the floor with the DMAT. goes towards the other wall, and it seems like he's just trying to run away at this moment. Maybe trying to find a new position, or maybe they're just going to go for C, but I really thought he'd loop back at this point, but I think his team has followed him. So yeah, I guess they made the call that, hey, we're going to go for C, and I do love that. So that means good communication, good teamwork as they move on to it. Cash out C is about halfway through. There's a bounce pad that goes off, gateways as well. Both of these cash outs are extremely close to each other. That really allows all of these teams to kind of dip in and dip out to where they want to be. Uni goes down by Spring Hour. Spring Hour gets caught out in that fight. Both teams down to 2 people. Obese Grandma down as well. Looks like a team wipe on one of them, but they are now watching BMO as he tries to get close to D. His team falls on it. Gas goes out. Watching the setup, I think they have plenty of time to make this steal.
Oh yeah, team wipe. There's only 2 teams currently alive, and Apes with a very easy steal. This is not going to go well for them in just a second, though. After Hours are here to spoil the party. It's the last couple seconds. Cash out. Theirs is going to be fine. They don't have to worry about that, but Apes now have to every hat out on his way. Lasagna with his health coming back up, full strength now as they look for Lasagna do a lot of damage. Again, Maddow trying to follow his team up. He's beamed down. A lot of damage, chasing after the light. The light is invis. The seconds are ticking away on this cash out. They're not even going to try to go for it at this point. Still looking for those kills. Remember, those kills do mean points, so you do want to find them wherever possible. Still, just a lot of searching. Apes doing a really good job of searching, but unfortunately, a better job from, Apes doing a great job of hiding after Hours, unable to find them, and they're now going to back out. Time for the next couple vaults is graduating. We show up just in time to see Grandma get obliterated by graduating.
Grandma got obliterated, more like run over by a graduating man as he gets the teleporter and goes through it with his team. It is set up for them all to move on to cash out C, but I kind of take that back. They're setting up more towards B. Do they want to control the cash out so that it goes over here? Not really sure, but there is some good movement from graduating. They do have to know that there is another team there, and there is the drop. We see them piling on top of each other. There's that XP dealing any damage it can, but their light player goes down. Rippy doing some good damage, and they do get a wipe on the Burger Boys in that fight, but I think that there's another team here as well. Cash out 5 is going to B. Vault 5 is going to cash out B as it gets started, and the teams reset.
Yeah, Apes holding that one, and on the other side, once again, after Hours, holding that high point. We've seen Uni with his aim, and it's no surprise that they want to be on construction. He has that sky, so he's going to be holding that, but now Hashi, some nice movement, setting up that cash out. They have the C4, they have that barrel. Using some nice movement there, but we're heading back up to this point where After Hours unable to hold. That's a steal. Looks like we do have a Grandma there jumping up using the bounce pad. Has that, gets completely melted by Spring Hour on the backside. Both teams losing a lot of people. Universe Slayer, the only one left on it. Survive long enough to get a retake. He has to survive for a second, but graduating with the rest of his team. The Burger Boys are moving in. The Burger Boys are looking a lot of damage from range, but graduating has to back away. Losing a little bit too much health against that ARN. Can't deal with it. XP versus ARN not going to be good at that quite range. Boys moving and trying to get this steal last second. Can they hold on to it? They're going to be able to get this steal pretty much uncontested as Uni is still backing off and just waiting for his.
Yeah, absolutely, and they are in a great position now. The Burger Boys have a great delivery of probably 12 or more burgers headed to them as this cash out ticks down. We're down to the last 45 seconds of this. We see them jumping in and out. Graduating goes down, but immediately gets res by Belize. He's able to get back up, RPG in hand by Belize. Cash out is still ticking down, but we are watching as now Viper shoots an RPG, goes for the winch claw, pulls that cash out box down with his teammates. Dome Shield goes down as well, but it does get eaten up by that RPG. Now the cash out box is all the way on the floor. Both of these teams are surrounding it, trying to find anybody. Make-A-Wish Foundation set up to the right. They can't really do anything. I think they're waiting for that winch claw. They are. They're trying to pull it up. They pull it in. They need to stick it right now. They need to stay on it. This is actually a really good spot. It's kind of out in a weird little area. They're holding it. They might be able to get it. He goes down. So sad to see. They really had that fight as these last few seconds just slowly tick down, and it does look like we have our top few teams in this match.
The Apes held together, they stayed strong, and they kept that cash out from being stolen. Viper almost had it the last second, but it still was After Hours with the win. And look at that, 11-2 on Universe Slayer. We've seen Uni before. With that dash, he is so evasive. He is oppressive with his coil control and his aim. It is
Yes.
impossible to push into him when he has the sightline on you. And not surprised
11
that
kills.
Soul Construction is a good map for them. Not surprised
Yes.
to see them performing on that one. That is a pretty expected result. A little bit of an unexpected result. A little surprised to see the Make a Wish Foundation doing with quite
Yeah.
that performance.
Yeah.
I did find it is matches actually. Matches.
Yeah, matches. I saw that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
matches.
Meet
Thank
Your
you,
Merch
Merch,
that told us. Yeah.
for letting us know. In game as Herbie Hancock. Somebody needs to talk to these guys because nobody knows who you are. I'm sorry. You need to work. But
Yeah.
they didn't find, and I think they might have been memeing a little bit. It's on brand for the team to kind of be memeing a little bit. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them step it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And these teams just have a lot going for them. That was the first one. We got an idea. We got a little bit of a taste of what could be coming for us, but it is always exciting to see. And honestly, I don't know. It was really quite close, except for the Make a Wish Foundation. And maybe they just didn't know what to expect. We've seen very few like doubling of the cash outs today, Waltz. We've seen very few even third teams. It's almost like these teams are respecting each other for the most part. I think we're only seeing the like 3 or more teams come after a cash out if the times are staggered, if there is kind of that opening where they need to kind of get in there. So it's just interesting to see how we're playing, and yeah, even more games coming up. So we will just continue to go through it. But really good performances, especially by Uni getting 11 kills in that last match. It is kind of a map that was made for him, but yeah, just love to see good old gameplay like that. And we have 3 more matches coming up. We get loaded into, what is this next map? Bernal. Bernal, love it, hate it, whatever your feelings are, let me hear it. One interesting thing that I like to note about Bernal is that a lot of the maps in the finals have a lot of verticality in them. So there's a lot of areas that you need to kind of look up and down for. But an interesting thing about Bernal is that it has a lot of horizontality, if that's a real word or not, based on it, because a lot of things aren't, they have like one level and that's kind of it. There's a few areas that are a little more stacked, but overall, it's a very level playing field. And I mean that pun intended, for everybody kind of going into this map. So just an interesting observation for everybody kind of wondering why we're going into it. And again, love it, hate it, let me know in the chat as we get started. But you know what I want to hear from you, chat? I want to hear you rooting for these teams. Are you after hours? Are you a burger boy? Are you an Ape Squad member? Or are you here to make a wish as we get started? There is Viper at half health going for the healing beam, trying to get his teammates back up. There is a nice little bounce pad up in the air. Everybody is just fighting. Hits one shot from Viper on the Cerberus. Good damage going off. You see them swarming on Mad, and they get that team down. We are watching them as they kind of bounce in and out of it, and there is a team wipe.
Yeah, very nice play from them. They definitely turned it around, and they are hitting the ground running right now. Very impressive stuff from them. Hope to see that continue from that team. Drakes that indeed progress. Of course, we have here Hashi, the last member of Apes, is struggling to survive vault fight, and he's playing very slow. He's up against 2, hits 1, hits the second shot. The burn is not enough, though. The heals came out, and Belize is going to... Boys are eating large, and they are on top of vault number 2. I don't think you're right. We are not seeing a lot of doubles. Again, because of the nature of the league, in that it's not a qualifying. If you're running in these play on it. The man basically doubles every single cash out he sees.
Yes,
you're looking
exactly.
you're just looking for base amounts of money. You're just going to go ahead and try to ego everyone you see. But when you know everybody else in the lobby is just as good as you, very close, you want to be more careful, and you want to make sure that you split the fight. You don't want all 4 to be there, because it just becomes absolute shooting. Not surprised to not see a lot of doubles. Probably only going to see that in very rare situations, because first place matters so much. Meanwhile, of course, Grandma struggling. Does have an assist on Lasagna after having some difficulty getting onto this point. Grandma is doing a lot of damage. He lighted now onto... Oh, nice shot onto Uni. Just slaps him down. Grandma said, "Get out of my house." And that is a successful hold.
Yeah, they're in a good position. We are seeing a little bit of a change up from the last map. And you know what? I love to see it. I don't know if it's more map dependent, if it's just they have a weird, different, play style. I'm not really sure. We are very early into this league. And you know what? I am loving every second of it so far. We move over to Belize as he tries to get his teammate up, and he does get the res, but unfortunately they get down in that fight as well. And there is a wipe. Nice movement, honestly, from, who is that? BMO. BMO with the beam in that XP, and we are seeing that XP used so heavily now after the latest buff, so it is cool to see. We're now watching BMO go for the steal. He's going to get it uncontested because there is nobody here to go after him. Now they have the cash out in hand. Maybe 15 seconds left on this. We see them set up. There's a good positioning from BMO. Tries to get some shots off, but really not successful in that. Has to reload. Going for the fight. Gets in a little bit closer. Goes down in that, but it does look like the steal's going off. He might have just lost in this fight. We see Lasagna getting some good damage. They do have to pull off of it, but now they get wiped and go down, and this will go the way of After Hours.
Yeah, BMO getting caught out, like you said, in a bit of an odd position. They had the defensive up, but they kept just pushing into a position where they could get spotted. Not sure what happened there, but After Hours taking full advantage of judgment, getting those cash outs, and we're on to vaults 3 and 4 as Uni is sitting here at Ice Beam is almost about to finish him off. Tries to reset, has a glitch nade as well. He was ready to block any gateway. No need, there was no gateway set down. It looks like whoever hit that is just completely going away, and so Uni's going to go ahead and just take the free money and run.
Yeah, and the plugs do matter. They do give you cash, and it's not as important as the the meta was. What was that, halfway through last season is when it all changed. So it is still important though, because what does it give you, Waltz? Is it like 10%, 15%? Drawing a blank, something I should know. But Universe Slayer is moving in. Both cash out, both vaults are actually very close to each other. I'm not sure if they've decided on which way they're going to go. It does look like both of them are getting actually close to C, but there is the deviation as they pull off to D. So 4 will go to C. They will get started, but it does look like another team is already here waiting for them to get onto it.
It does appear to be 15%, I believe, is what they get for a now, based on the amount of maths. I believe it's 15. Regardless, no time for math because Spring Hour is over here just popping heads with that F positions to on C. A Winch does pull that to the side. Belize just making sure to receive set this. Unfortunately, Uni is currently set up on top of the chapel over on the point, and if we know he's going to beam you no matter how far he is at A damage. So even though the fighting is all the way over at C, they're close enough that he's going to put enough pressure onto the Burger Boys that unfortunately they're not going to be able to have a vision on exactly what's happening. So instead we see them setting up. They have Unade on the the jump pad. They two sides now. Jumping up after Belize. Caught between a rock and a hard place. They now see three teams looking at them. No matter where they go, people are staring at them and breathing down their necks. They're dropping. Have to defend this cash out from a very disadvantageous position.
Yeah, and this is a lot of time to have to be holding it. They are playing very far away from this cash out, and time again, we have seen this be the downfall of really good teams. It says 26 meters away, but that does mean at a minimum 2.5 seconds to get over there. They have changed up. They've moved a little closer. It's what the Burgers boy needs to do if they want to have a good cookout and get some good cash to get that started. We move over to the next.
He got a little bit too aggressive, got off by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They thought they could pull a just 2 off, but there was just not enough time, and the remaining members of... Now they push onto the last member, and they get a steal here. Uni tracking is godlike as he finishes off a frickin' the 60 mag size of this weapon is serving him wonders right now. No need to stop firing. He can just keep going and going. That does not get them this cash out, but they are still in first position right now as we move.
Yep. Absolutely, Waltz, and we move into it. We have less than 2 minutes left on the clock. We see Vault 6 has just spawned, Vault 5 has been tapped, and honestly, Make-A-Wish Foundation needs to make something happen, but really, Ape Squad in fourth with only 5,000 points, $5,000. Can we look at the scoreboard real quick? Because I'm curious if they're even getting kills. So they do have kills to their name, but that means that they haven't gotten any taps, no cash out, no wipes, no really anything important to only have 5,000 in cash. It looks like they do get finally a tap, or finally a tap, so they do get an extra 1,000 for that. But moving over, it does seem like Make-A-Wish Foundation are actually in a really good position. From first to third, we're looking at a difference of just $11,000 in cash. So one cash out will be enough for any of these teams from third to go all the way to first. We are now moving over to Rippy as he moves through the map, holding on to that golden vault with $22,000 in it. His teammates in front of him, Hashi, going down in that fight, watching as his teammates take more damage. He does have a long time to get that respawn back, but it looks like Bimo has taken his teammate and is going to walk him closer to the next cash out. They're going to get that started, and hopefully this will be where they need to go. There is the cash out getting started. Rippy with the RPG in hand, pulling out the barrel. He does whack it once, trying to make a little bit of coverage for himself, pulls out that RPG, and we're watching them get set up. This is be a great time for Ape Squad to really come back here. Getting that extra 18K from this cash out will be really important for them if they want to maybe try and move into second place or third if they're able to. So now the gas is in hand. Rippy trying to buy as much time as we can. In this, we like to call it the kiting meta. There are two teams that are down, but when you want to just buy out the time, it is always a good thing to do, and gas is a great way to do that. Watching these teams set up, and Hashi with the jump pad, so he is ready to just bounce on if his teams are there. But it does seem like maybe we should go to somebody else, because nobody seems to be really going against Ape Squad. I take that back. There was a grenade that went off as soon as I said that. Caster's Curse, apparently, as we're watching the Ape Squad move over to the side. They have now set up in this next building. They are still a good distance away from this cash out. They need to make something happen really soon. We see the C4 in hand by Rippy. He is waiting. There it is. Great C4 from him. We're moving over to Viper. He is now healing his teammate as they go for the steal. He's trying to body block and buy as much time as he can. Cash out is taking down. They're not able to get it. Ape Squad is not able to get onto it. They do have the cash out stealed from underneath them. Their dome shield goes down. Everybody is on top of each other as this cash out just ticks down. And we have our victors. After Hours coming in first. Well done, After Hours. They really came back there. Sad for the Ape Squad, because I thought that they had that cash out right at the end, but you know, you can't pick it always. But there you have it. We have Mad Lasagna and Universe Slayer giving us quite a performance in that last match. Waltz, are you back? You with me, or are you still AFK? I think Waltz is restarting, everybody, so don't worry about that. We're going to try and fix some of our audio issues. Apologize for it, but thank you, everybody, for sticking it out and sticking around. Looking at the scoreboard, it's really interesting. I thought I would see more of a performance from the Burger Boys, but coming in with only $27,000 in cash, it's very interesting just to see. You know, Belize is normally such a big, heavy hitter, but his teammates really didn't help him get kind of the kills that he needed. Looking on the other side of things with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Obese Grandma really did some good kills there, and really nice, well-rounded team. So finally, moving to After Hours, they did have the most commanding performances in this one, but just looking at the kills real quick, nobody's really standing out. In some of the earlier groups, we had people that were going like 10, 11 kills, and they really were, standing out in the fights. But this is really interesting. And as we said before, that like this is a great group because there's nobody slouching on here. Nobody doesn't deserve to be here. These teams are very competitive, and it's really great to see. So there it is. We are now looking at the scores as they update, and this will be all of them. We are halfway through Group C, and I think I might have heard somebody join back. Waltz, you there?
I am, in fact, back. Can you hear me? How do I sound, Rio?
You sound good, and I'm not going to say anything. We're going to keep going. I am hopeful.
I am hopeful too. I think what happened, and I'm gonna go a little conspiracy theory here. I think Discord really wanted me to update to the new the new update. So I'm now forced to the new
Mm.
update, but that's okay. Hopefully that fixes all of our issues. And Rio, how did that match end? Who won? You gotta let me know.
Yeah, it honestly ended well, and we saw that After Hours was able to kind of take it in that last fight. Really, just kind of wild performance, wild spread, and just kind of amazing. I loved it. You should have seen it right at the end. Everybody was on top of each other. Cash outs were being stolen left and right, and everybody just died. It was great. It was a great way to end the match, but we are halfway through it. There are 2 more to go, and they will be coming up in just a second.
Yeah, and we do have some of the points from our first match. We haven't gotten our second match loaded in yet, but those are live updating. So stay tuned because we will have more of that. And we're loading into our game in just a few minutes, guys. We're going to get that started very soon. I am lagging a little bit. Hopefully that is not coming through on your end.
Yeah, no, so thankfully your
Okay.
audio sounds good.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think that we might have fixed the audio issues so far, but we will find out here shortly. And production, do we know what next map we're loading into? So we could yap. We're going
Ooh.
Skyway. I was honestly thinking about that the other day, and I really feel like we don't see Skyway a ton. It is picked, but it's never like the first map that people pick. It's kind of like in the middle, and I don't know why. I think it's a very cool map, but why do you think it's not anybody's like first pick, Waltz?
I think it's just it doesn't have anything that no on any other map does. Especially now that we can choose to run construction. If you want those long sight lines, you're going to run Seoul. If you want to have houses that you can play in and out of, you're going to play Monaco. And with the redesign for Vegas, I think a lot of people are also really enjoying Vegas right now. So Skyway being one of those older maps that I honestly just, when you look at the way the maps are now, and they've put out some really fantastic maps, it just feels, this is going to sound silly for a game that's only a year old, it feels dated. Is that dumb to say?
With how much we have seen change in the finals in over just a year, it is absolutely correct, Waltz. Things do change on a dime. But you know what never changes? The excitement getting into these matches. I love to see it. Make-A-Wish Foundation getting some good shots off. Herbie Hancock watches his teammates go down around him. He goes invis, having to move off of there, and he decides to take a nice Ospooze break and a nap along with it. That was actually a good camera work there, Burrito. That was really funny to watch.
Yeah, fantastic start. Really exciting. That's exciting, and we do have Belize getting the first plug on Skyway. Belize, of course, probably has potentially more hours on Skyway than possibly anybody else at this point.
I would bet.
Jumping in, Lasagna with After Hours trying to get a plug, but he's by himself. The third person, we can see him being swarmed around by everyone in Apes with a quick steal. Taking this off of After Hours. Uni is not fully down yet, actually. He's still alive. He finally goes away. Can't win that 1 versus 2, and they get that plug. Meanwhile, we have Burger Boys setting up as they try to fend off an attack from Make-A-Wish Foundation. That is nice. A good tracking there. You can see the hit markers. Unable to finish him off, though. Didn't quite do much. Did he get half the health off? A lot of people, pretty much everybody about half health right now. The only person up is currently Grandma. She's currently at full health, has those cookies ready if she needs a little bit of a top-up. Currently graduating with that XP. Does some damage at range. I love that you can see the little hit markers as he's doing this as well. Everybody running dash, a lot of people are running dash, and he continues to sit on the periphery. Graduating, just trying to find those angles, just keep them uncomfortable. He's not looking for a kill, he's just looking to make sure that they don't ever stay at full health as they are inside, currently glitched up, getting pressed by Belize. He jumps through. Spring Hour with his heavy. Again, the maneuverability there just all over, and because of where this cash out is, they have to actually find Burger Boys before they can even go for a steal.
Yeah, that was really entertaining to watch, and it's very a unique strategy because he is just keeping them at bay. He is just making them like have to kind of hide in run from the man who's just beaming them from across the map. That is truly some good play. And as I was saying, you know, the kiting meta is strong in these teams, especially in situations like this, because you just want to buy as much time. There we go again to Spring Hour. He is springing to action as he's getting some great damage, but sadly gets dumped down to 29 HP. The steal is going down right now. They need to get on it. They need to do something to get it stopped, and they did. I'm not sure what they did, but we're seeing Spring Hour pop around. Oh, that's a great kill on Obese Grandma and basically securing him this cash out. There's one more person left from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they are getting beamed, and they hide inside that building, but the chase is on foot, and they will get there soon. We pop over to Uni, who is now at the center of all of this. He is half health, watching it go down. He gets on top of their head, gets beamed down very low, bouncing in and out. He's just chasing them. This is the movement king, the aim king, unable to stay up in the fight, and we see the first two cash outs get completed.
He was unable to do anything there, just could not quite make it work. And yeah, like you said, that was Uni trying his best with that aim, but couldn't quite make anything happen. Not doing as well as they have been in the past. I don't think they've gotten a single kill. Can we see the scoreboard real quick? Production? That is 0 kills for Make-A-Wish Foundation. They have nothing right now. What?
1,400 damage between them as well. That's nothing. That's tickles. You know, it's just not where you want to be, but Hashi goes through the floor. Not sure his teammates are in chase behind him. He is a little bit separated from them, and that's not what you want. We see other people falling down. He's going into the stairwell. He has that glitch grenade in hand. Looks like Cash is right below him as he gets the rest of his team finally on him. Cash down at the bottom of the stairwell. There's a dome shield. Everybody's in each other's faces. Mad goes down from the Cerberus, and we're watching the rest of them as they get just deleted. Oh, that was some great shots. Love the Cerberus and how it's used so frequently in games today.
All right, Burger Boys on top of the crane, dropping towards C. They want to get this plugged, but there are 3 people in their way. Can Make-A-Wish Foundation get their first kill? It's the only thing they want in life. Come on, guys, let's give them something. They have nothing right now. They are the poorest people on the map. But Belize says no. He's going to sit here and wait for the rest of the region. And there's a gateway. They're on point, waiting for a DMAT from his medium. And they're just going to get that plug. Didn't even have to fight. Graduating a little bit low, but they are full health. Otherwise, has his turtle ready to go ahead and provide him some help. And Graduating with that range is doing a lot of damage from range there. Grandma is taking so much. The glitch does go out. Graduating very, very low. Has to get away. Belize as well. Almost no health. Spring Hour, it's all on him to finish this off. Can he take him out? No, Grandma is able to survive with that healing. Finishes this off, and he continues to move forward. Nothing else happening at this time. The steal is beginning, and we have almost a steal. Can Make-A-Wish Foundation pull this away? And they can.
Nice. As we move over to BMO, as he is the last person alive in his team, does go into that elevator, presses the buttons, slowly rides it to the top as his teammates respawn. Rippy and Haish are back into the combat. A little bit of ways away from him, but they have plenty of time. This cash out is halfway done, so we're watching it tick down. He is waiting for his teams to come here, and there they are, following like a puppy to their master. They slowly find their way and start to climb up. There is a nice C4 grenade, but they're blowing up just that wall. I'm not sure what they were doing other than trying to find a little space. You could really do that with a red barrel instead of wasting your C4.
With that C4.
Now he's watching it just slowly go away and have to wait all of that time for it to respawn. Things have really slowed down in this combat.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. He did get maybe a little bit excited on that one. Apes still trying to find their way onto this site. I think they could probably just go for a steal. Meanwhile, Spring Hour, the rest of Burger Boys trying to hold on to this point they got stolen from. A nice angle. Graduating, just melting the rest of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They're going to get that steal, but Apes are still trying to get a hold on this one. They couldn't hold on to this in After Hours. Lasagna finishing him off with that FAMAS. Currently After Hours and Burger Boys currently sitting on the top of the leaderboard, but Ape Squad are very, very close behind them. These last two vaults are going to be anyone's game, pretty much anyone's game. But unfortunately, that of Make-A-Wish Foundation, they have a chance for second, but their dreams of first place are basically gone unless they can pull off a cash-out double here. Meanwhile, Lasagna is face-to-face with Burger Boys, has the FAMAS, but he's taking too much damage, has to bail out for a second. Elise very low as well. Both members of the Burger Boys on almost no health, but they're getting pressed by the rest of After Hours, Uni, and Mad. Mad doing so much damage, and that appears to be almost a full team wipe for the Burger Boys. And Lasagna wants to get this plugged really, really soon, keep that tempo up, and don't let this get doubled.
Yeah, this is a great position for them to be in. Honestly, everybody except for Make-A-Wish Foundation, just not sure why they can't get it going in this combat. They need to change something up. We are moving over to them. If you have an obese grandma, this is how I think she would perform as well. But they do have the cash in hand. This might be a chance for them to get the plug and get a little bit of money, but it's still not going to be enough to get them all the way to first. They would have to absolutely stack both of these cash outs, get the plug, and then get the steal, and I just don't see it happening. But we are moving in to the last minute and a half of this map. We are watching as Grandma jumps down from the building, moves into it. They throw an APS down, not really sure what they're doing, probably waiting for a gateway, but they are immediately getting charged, and Winch Claw out. Grandma takes half health, going down. They go through that gateway, pulling out an RPG in hand, trying to reposition and find another shot. Things have kind of slowed down as they look for the next target.
Actually, a really nice play for them in the APS, so no glitch nades would destroy their gateway. The gateway had to get it doubled. Unfortunately, they got killed on the way in. Grandma, the last one left on his team, the vault has been thrown far away, and there's no double on the field. This means that they are in bad trouble right now. And actually, it looks like Uni is gonna get the plug. That is now B. We have two vaults going on. They were unable to get the double. A nice try from Make-A-Wish Foundation, but now they have to steal this to even have a chance at second. Still, a lot of teams currently circling around, full strength on most of them. Uni has the high ground. They're back on this point. Looks like Burger Boys did start on the other side. I'm sorry, that was not Uni but the Burger Boys, but a lot of damage. The ARN is just pumping out with that mag size. He's doing so much. Jumps in, hits one, hits two, hits three. Oh my gosh, Universe Slayer is just slaying everyone right now with the team wipe. His team is going to hold that, and he is now on the way over to B. Wants to get that take if he can. Remember, this is what determines first place. If he can get rid of Burger Boys and he lets Ape Squad get this, then they are going to get first. He doesn't want to fight Ape Squad. See that? He doesn't try to finish. He goes away. The only people he's focusing on are orange. There's only 5 seconds left. They have to start the steal now. Are Ape Squad going to go for this, or are they just going to go and stay away? Come on, you have to ape this point right now, but they're not going to have time. There's no steals happening. Burger Boys getting this cash out and getting first place in our third map. Skyway Stadium going their way.
Wow. That was an epic match. Everybody really fought hard. You know, there were some interesting slip-ups from some of the teams, but that is a good match, and the Burger Boys take it. I think that's the first match that they've won in first, so really good show, very convincing play. We finally got to see Belize kind of pop off there, and oh my god, Belize is level 90. Oh, it makes me feel better. Yeah, truly some good plays there. Very low kill, actually, now that I look at the Burger Boys, especially when we look at the inverse of that, and we're looking at Uni with 11, and Uni just kept popping off in that last map. Maybe it's just a really good map for him on the movement side of things, but yeah, this was a matchup of a matchups. Not really sure what happened with Make-A-Wish Foundation, but everybody else really had great performances.
Yeah, really good stuff from them. I mean, the kills were kind of there. I think they just couldn't quite. It's a lot of long sight lines, and you're going up against. You're going up against Uni. You're going up against Spring Hour and Graduating, Ape Squad as well. I mean, these are some amazing aim players, and it's really hard to push into them, especially on maps like this. And they lost so much tempo. That first fight, you could see where they tried, and they were going up against Burger Boys, and they kept just bouncing back and forth, and it was just such a long delay. They spent so long just trying to find anyone, and they kept getting pinged from range. They kept losing health. They kept having to wait to reset. I think that one fight right at the beginning just cost them so much momentum in the game. Like they just never really recovered from that.
Yeah, momentum is a really good word of putting it. because we've said before, it's like tempo. There's a lot of just like feeling that goes into this. You need to kind of be in a good rhythm. You need to kind of be working with your team, and slowdowns and delays like that really can kind of put a hamper to a lot of your plans. So, we are more than halfway done with this group. So if they want to make any changes, they got 2 more maps to do it, and hopefully they can really get something going. At least some of the bottom tier team. I'm sorry, I am out of practice. It is now we're on our last map already. So this will be their last opportunity to get something going, especially for Make-A-Wish Foundation and Ape Squad as well. I really love those guys, but we've seen them do quite a lot. Oh, and we got a cat on camera too. Gotta love Walt. Walt, what's that cat's name? Which one is that?
That is Lovecraft, and he is just napping. I have emerged from my void, but the void is still here in the cat.
Oh, full
You can see
screen.
it. That is he's just napping in the background. He's having a good time. My loud casting has not surprised him. Maybe if we can see the Make-A-Wish Foundation pick up a little bit of speed, maybe he'll wake up and take some interest. We'll have to see when we get into map 4. I'm excited. This has gone really fast, but I feel like we've gotten to get a feel for all of our teams. I like the number of games we've set forward. A nice solid hour of games is a pretty good amount of time, and I'm excited to see what happens. I know that cash out is tends to be kind of a maligned part of the kind of competitive scene. There are a lot of problems, like there are not necessarily problems, but there's a lot of issues with it when it comes to teaming and getting unlucky and then getting last second steals and third parties. But we are seeing these teams that do have really good play consistently come out on top, and that's what I'm looking forward to see as we do so many of these games, and there are going to be so many of these play dates where we get to go through as these teams start to improve at this game mode, because we haven't had a lot of consistent play in cash out yet. Everyone's focused on 3v3, so I think we'll start to see some metas develop in this mode specifically.
Yeah, absolutely, and I couldn't agree more, because and we really did put a lot of thought into this, at least on the Pro Hub side, while we were building this out. And I think that it's great that we are doing it in this format, because it does let kind of the cream of the crop rise to the top. And we are going to see that as we go through Playday after Playday. And we've said it before, this is not the only, day of this. There will be so many more battles, so many more maps, so many more teams. So if your team is not performing the way that you want them to, just send them some DMs and tell them to do better in the next one as we get started. There is Uni going back to the XP. I would love to see him on that glitch grenade in hand, throwing it off. Don't think it connected with anybody. Glitch grenade in the inverse gets thrown at them. Herbie Hancock just gets deleted. You do not want to be at the end of his firepower. Grandma goes down as well. He is the last person on his team, but there is one person up. They do get a res. He's trying to find the kills if he can stay alive as well. There's that amazing movement. He's down to 12 health, but he sadly gets wiped.
And a nice way to deal with Uni, shove into him. Meanwhile, they're doing the same thing with Belize, just getting zerged. The Apes ran him over, crushing him, and they're going to get control of this vault. 3,000 score on them already. They're going to get a quick plug because they have that light to gateway over. And like I was saying, a great way to deal with Uni, because he can do that damage from range, is to get on top of him, make him waste his dash charges, and make him a sitting duck without that invis. So nicely played from them. This is going to be a very quick plug from the side of Apes as they set up a nice jump pad with a goo and a gateway, crossing a very far distance in just a matter of seconds. They were a little bit behind on the plug, but with that quick movement, it doesn't matter, and they're already set up and ready for this aggression by the Burger Boys. Bimo dropping all the way down, and his team above. There's no winch, so they can't reposition this, but his team is already fighting. Hashi is quite low. Bimo has to find an angle on the Burger Boys. He has to find a way to get onto them. He has a high ground advantage on Belize. Might be able to spot him. There's the fight going, engaging. His heavy is on there. Rippy and Belize duking it out with those SA-12s, and Bimo with the angle. That was going to do a lot. Can he finish him off? He does! Finishes off graduating. That's a team wipe. Such patience from Bimo. He could have popped out at any time, but waited until the last second. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, and Herbie Hancock looking for that beam, but gets taken out by Universe Slayer, unable to contest that light. Lasagna pushing in, trying to finish off this heavy. Oh, just doesn't even look at him. Look at the stones on this man. Hits him with the Cerberus and just turns away, knowing the burn damage is going to finish him off.
Yeah, that was amazing from both sides of it. We just flipped back and forth. And I want to go back to BMO for a second, because that is a really good play from him. He was in the perfect position. He had the ability to kind of not dive in there immediately and ruined it. So just performance, good plays all around. And honestly, you know, BMO is like the only one here in this entire lobby that I don't know. So this is why it's so cool that I'm getting to add new players to kind of my notes and people to follow, because that is a performance that we definitely want to continue to see. We are now watching him as he gets closer to cash out A. They just need to buy maybe about 20 seconds on this. There is a dome shield from the Burger Boys. They run in. That glitch grenade absolutely eliminates that dome shield, puts them in a very vulnerable position, but it is down to just BMO. Can he clutch this for his team? 15 seconds left. We are watching it as it just ticks down. The steal is going off. He is holding off. He's not doing it again. They do pull off of it, but sadly he gets wiped in that, and the Burger Boys will have every opportunity to get this steal.
A very nice play from them, impressively done, and not surprised to see them pull it off. 3 versus 1 is incredibly hard at the very best of times. So it makes sense that he couldn't quite get it, but he tried his absolute best with that glitch grenade. Couldn't. If he'd had eyes, just a slightly better sightline, might have been able to pull that off. We're actually quite close. We do about 10,000 in advantage of after hours after the first cash outs have been settled, and they've already gotten the ping they've already gotten a full vault started, and they're moving towards C for after hours.
Yes, and they are moving over to C. We see the other vault has been tapped by the Burger Boys. Rippy is in a good position, pulls out his RPG, shoots it down, gets Springing Hour out of the way, pulls out Belize in the fight too. There is one person left on the Burger Boys as they need to go for lunch and get their team back up. Rippy with a great res now. He's unable to do it. It looks like an RPG went off directly on top of him. Nix kicks his player out from underneath him. That totem went flying. Now it's forcing him on the advantage, on the offensive, having to run in there. There's a glitch grenade that goes off. He does spot him out, but goes for the retreat. His entire team is back up, and they need to find their footing in this fight.
Yeah, this has been such a delayed vault that it looks like After Hours has actually come and kidnapped this vault. They decided to steal this and start a second cash out. Rippy, the Apes are progressing towards D, as well as the Burger Boys. 2 teams are currently on top of D, and it looks like Burger Boys getting this initial steal. They are laking some damage, though. BMO and Hashi pushing in. Gas is down everywhere. There's a nice jump pad with that goo. Very aggressive, but Burger Boys getting out of dodge right when they need to. They're playing underneath currently, and Rippy trying to find this. There goes a bit of a bait, trying to pull them out of position. They might not have a C4 on it, but there is the gas. Not going to be able to do anything. You can't steal that right now. Try to drop it, but BMO has already been lost. They've lost the second. Rippy is by himself. At this point, he might as well just run in. Found his teammate, but he's getting zerged by the After Hours squad as they come in, running on top of him, and he's going to get taken out. Matto, they're looking for the retake on their point that the Burger Boys have stolen. Has to dodge for a second, and he's going back over to C. That's the one they already own. Just let his team coin if he can get away.
Yeah, and Mad pulling up the mesh shield. It does get damaged quite a lot, but his team is very low. We're seeing that Lasagna is down. Universe Slayer is now moving to try and get that teammate back up, I assume, but they do have 4 seconds until they can coin back in. We're moving to more of an overhead view. Looks like the steal is going off on Cash Out C. All of the Make-A-Wish Foundation is here. Ooh, Viper going down, moving over to Mad, getting some great shots off with that SA-1216. Watching him move in and out of these buildings, RPG in hand. We're going back to the staircase. Oh, BMO gets deleted.
Over the last second steal.
It's just another one out as well. A steal went off, and Mash goes down as well. Sheesh. Oh boy, these names. Yeah, just a wild fight, wild combat, just insane. There is another fight going off. The Cerberus spotted one of them out. Looked like they were trying to get the res off, but that's not what you want to have happen. And another wipe, and these cash outs look pretty secured.
This is the most even match we have seen so far. The Make-A-Wish Foundation finally getting a nice solid cash out there. A little bit of a disconnected fight. I know what After Hours wanted to do. They had both cash outs started and wanted to go back and contest the first one, just keep bouncing back and forth using that additional tempo, but they got a little bit too separated and couldn't hold either. So that puts them in a very tenuous first place. Now that we are on these final 2 vaults, this is where everything is going to be decided. And already the Burger Boys with a plug, they have the advantage right now with that solid position in first place and that plug. Viper pushing with that Cerberus onto the fight. He's going to run into two teams, but they also, of course, want that vault. His team is just going to melt the light, melt Matt as well. A nice pick from him, and they are going to be in control of this vault if they can survive the damage coming from Burger Boys. Grabs the wrong thing. He grabs the glitch canister. He has to get away now. Viper on 4 HP is barely able to go ahead and get away. His team is going to falling behind him, though. Grandma is down, and Herbie Hancock is the only one left on his team. Viper waiting for the regen. Vault 6 is behind. There's still a minute and 14 seconds left if he wants to grab that and go plug, and he does. He's taking this away. He wants to get this started because this is where the money matters. They have a chance to actually get a first place here. The plug bonus is going to put them over the top. It's enough. If they get some good kills, they actually have a chance for first, and this is where the fight is going to revolve around after people start to get wiped over on point C.
Yep, point C is where it's going to be popping off. It doesn't even look like anybody's on the other one. Point A, everybody is here diving onto it. Glitch grenade going off. We're watching Belize go into the corner. Grenade going off. Gas as well. Running out of their springing hour now, trying to take the fight to them. They are all just running away.
Barely alive.
Cash out is very low, halfway done. We see that Belize is on a tickle of HP. Anybody that spots him out, and it's a very bad position for him to be in. He is getting res back up, healed back up, but he goes down, gets spotted out before he could get that full res. His medium gets a nice res on him, gets his health back up to half. Spring Hour getting some pop shots off, gets RPG directly in front of him, goes down in that fight. We're watching now Belize trying to get his teammate, get him back up. He's on just a little bit of health, and he goes down as well. We're down to just one Burger Boy as he's trying to find anybody in his team to get this fight going.
Yeah, Apes are pretty much uncontested on point A. They're just going to get this, and they get to move over, and now all four teams point their eyes towards B. This is the last cash out of the last match of our Playday today, so everyone wants this. Apes with a very commanding first place right now. All they have to do is prevent the after-hours squad, and Graduating is getting pressed again. He finishes up Lasagna, but gets burned down by that Cerberus damage. After hours with only 2 members, Universe Slayer is not going to have time to go over and get that revive. They have to focus on this cash out. But right now, Make-A-Wish Foundation holding this with everything they have. Universe is going to go ahead and knock out those mines, knock out that barrel. Just make sure that there's no ability to defend on this. He's using that dash for everything he has. 14 seconds left. We have a very limited time to steal. Somebody has to go for this now. Sitting on that point. Apes are here. Apes are zerging onto the point. They're going for the steal last second, but they're getting delayed. Make-A-Wish Foundation is on top. They're able to go ahead and hold this position so far. The dome shields are down, but there's only 2 seconds left. Make-A-Wish Foundation ahead by 3,000. They finally got their wish.
Okay. Where were they all of these other games? This has been a wild turnaround. I can't believe it. This was the closest match that we've seen all day, Waltz. Of all the matchups, of all the teams, it comes down to the absolute last one. So it's truly amazing to see. And you know what? Ape Squad came back. Make-A-Wish Foundation came back. Truly, all of the people that you wanted to see come back, they did it. They really showed after hours in the Burger Boys that, hey, we are here to fight. We deserve to be here just like you guys. I love to see it. I love these matches. This has been a truly amazing day. And yeah, what are your thoughts on what we just saw there, Waltz?
Yeah, impressive stuff. I'm really, really happy that we did get to see these teams that were behind at first pull ahead. And some of that, like, you can definitely see that there were some misplays on the side of like teams like After Hours, but you have to see that and you have to know when to pounce. And Make-A-Wish really spotted their opportunity to come back into this game, and especially like in that last moment, we saw the side of Make-A-Wish grab that vault, know that they needed to cross, not even try to plug or anything of that nature, just get to that other cash out. So very exciting to see. And was that the updated scores fully for this group, or are we still waiting on the last game to get input of production? Because if so, I'd love to. Still waiting on the last one. Okay, yeah, because definitely want to take a little bit more of a look at those scores, because that will be the end of our play date. But Rhea, what were your main takeaways from today as we start to wrap this all up?
My main takeaways were chaos, teams going back and forth, wiping, and just a lot of really good team plays. I think I've said team a lot in that last sentence, but that's what we saw. We saw the teams coming together in a way that I haven't seen in the cash out matches. We did some way back during breakout, and I believe that I casted some games with you on one of your Christmas cash out events.
Yes, that was fun.
And it's a different situation than what we saw before. I'm seeing more organization, more team play, and it's just kind of if this is what we're getting on play day 1, Waltz, can you imagine what we're going to get on the last play day?
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just going to be yeah, these teams are if you want to see teams progress, see teams grow, kind of continue in their, area, their specializations, their weapons. You guys have so much more coming to you. But yeah, do you have anything to add to that? I mean, I think we're now just kind of waiting on the last things
Yeah.
to get entered in so we can see the overall standings for today.
Yeah. So we have our fully set scores. We see the live tally coming in, and it looks like our top two have not changed actually at all. Team Dit and Brick still were so dominant in their matches that they are still first and second. So, and if you want to know what this means, this here. When we get to our playoffs, the points and this color coding here, there is going to be a playoff at the end of the match, and your ranking in your groups does determine if you're going to start in an upper or lower bracket.
Yeah,
Everyone does play, I believe, in the playoffs at the end of the
they do.
split, so no one's
Mhm.
eliminated yet. However, when we get to the championship at the end, there's going to be a
Mhm.
split, which is going to be a 3v3, just final round, kind of standard what we see. But after that one, and you get points for that one, then we're going to merge EU and NA together, and they're going to be one final championship. And if you're in the red at that point, that's when you're going to get eliminated. So these points do matter, but they
Yep.
also matter because the better you do now, the higher chance you have to be seated high in the playoff at the end of the split,
Mhm.
and that's when you get the big points.
Yep, absolutely. And I did see a comment in chat saying, did we get the kills? And yeah, there is 1 point per kill. So those are added to the scoreboard. And it is very important to have those as well, because it makes it where even if you didn't get first or second in the cash out, you're able to kind of continue and still get points. Because we have seen teams that just miss the objective, but still get a lot of kill points. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. I think that Walt, you summed it up well. And that, yeah, this is going to be just wild as we move through it and move into more play days. I think that that's basically all we have for today. Oh, but before
Ooh.
we go, in my ear, I have production telling me that there is a $5 multi-buck code. So if there is something you guys want, Waltz, or I'm sorry, Burrito, what do they need to type in the chat to enter this giveaway? Okay, the word will be grandma. So if
I
you
was going
want
to
to
say the
win
same thing.
if you want to win $5 in multi-bucks, type grandma in the chat and we're going to do a giveaway and we will see who wins. This will be for an amazing $5. What a great way to wrap up this stream. Everybody give your grandma some love. If you haven't called your grandma lately, I think you just might be an opportunity to do so. I know I probably could give mine a nice little call here soon. But I am seeing the grandmas in the chat, so keep them coming, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And Waltz, do you have any thoughts while people talk about their grandmas?
Yeah. Now, if you enjoyed this, make sure you keep tuning in. As Rio has said multiple times, we're going to have a lot of these. There's going to be seven more. So we have 7 more
Mhm.
days just like this. These teams are going to get shuffled, so everyone's going to play everyone else. We're going to have a lot of different matchups. We're going to have a lot of people trying new things. You're going to see different teams play against different teams. We really want this to be, you can see these teams improve. You can see these teams as they progress through this league. We want you to get to know them. We want you to get to know these players so that you can really
Yeah.
start to root for them and follow them as we move towards things like the championship at the end of this season, for potentially the major as we move forward. So this is, I think, is really exciting and a chance to really get to see how teams like this play, teams that you and I have been watching for a very long time, teams like
Yeah.
Holthouse Finest, the chance that you can finally say, oh, if you know somebody who has ever expressed an interest in watching competitive finals, this is the time where you can say, hey, every single Wednesday and Saturday at these times, this is when you can go watch. This is when you
Yep.
can check it out because now we have set times. And I think that's really exciting to get the consistency that we haven't had before.
Yep, I agree. And there is a mid break between this month, so there is a week off. But other than that, we have every Wednesday and Saturday full of matches and full of casters like Waltz and I. So if you guys enjoy the finals, I think as much as we do, and if you're here, we've got more. But Burita, let's go ahead and get this giveaway started because I see a lot of grandmas in chat. We pick one. Okay.
Oh, we
All
pick one.
right.
All right, that's a lot of power. It's a lot of power. All right.
I'm gonna pick a name I don't know because a lot of these are some of the players. So I see Q Stasis, who I've never heard. Q Stasis, congratulations. Give your grandma a hug because they have won you $5. Sorry, everybody that's typing in grandma now. You just missed it because Q Stasis, congratulations. And I guess with that, Waltz, I guess for Q Stasis, if you just won, Burrito will reach out to you and get you your code. But yeah, do you want to? Provided by Embark. So thank you so much,
Ooh, thank
Embark,
you,
for
Embark, for a
supporting us
code.
up. But
Yep.
you want to wrap us up, Waltz?
Yeah. No, thank you so much for everybody who tuned in today. Like I said, this is the first of many, and we're excited to bring it to you. Massive shout out to, of course, the people helping out in production behind, the people who've set this up, Mickey, Deso, everyone, someone, the people behind doing this. But of course, massive shout out to Burrita for running the
Yeah.
production. Everything you've seen. I don't know what hype emotes you guys have, but let's throw some hype emotes for Burrito before we get going. Just because the man deserves it. He has done so much, the unsung hero behind. So let's give him a shout out, as well as Embark a shout out for that code. But yeah, so thank you everyone for tuning in. That is it for the play date. We will be back on Saturday for more. You can tune in for the EU and the NA, but that is it for now. We hope you had a great time, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks for tuning in.